Welcome back to the podcast. This is Relax Bro. I'm here with a very good friend of mine. His name's Ryan. I don't think that that's his actual name. So why don't you introduce your real self?
All right. Yeah, no, street name Ryan. I go by Ryan Smith. I didn't tell a lot of people growing up my first name was William. So you're one of the lucky few, I guess.
So your name's Will Smith?
Will Smith, dude. Yep, yep. Still to this day, I have my like my favorite spot in Vegas I go to. It's the Tuscany. And like they always have like an all black staff at the front counter where we check in. So like every single fucking time I go there, it's always like, you know your name Will Smith? And I'm like, nah, I've never heard that before. But they think it's the funniest thing in the world. So, you
It is pretty funny. Uh, just don't go slapping your favorite comics. I think we'll be all right.
know. Mm-hmm.
Isn't that nuts?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nuts that nobody did anything about it.
They just watched it.
Fuck. Yeah.
I thought somebody was gonna kill his ass after we're
That's what made me think that it was skit, maybe, but I obviously now I don't think that, but yeah, it's just crazy how that realm of people worked. Like, imagine even where we grew up or anything, somebody doing that to somebody. Like, you would have got fucking jumped probably. Like,
or stabbed or shot or
yeah, or
something.
worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Security would at least came up and be like, "Hey, what was that, dude?"
yeah.
Like
No one just got up out of their seats
nothing.
even at all. It was like, what the hell?
All right, so we have a past together. We're really good friends, but a lot of people might not know you. Why don't we just dig into it?
Yeah.
Where'd you grow up? How'd you grow up? Tell us about your childhood.
Well, weirdly, I grew up within 300 feet of this house. Two streets over. I grew up here before Oildale was connected to Olive Knolls. So at that time, there was a good mile distance between. So I didn't really know about Oildale until, damn, I guess, what year did we go into sixth grade?
Yeah, seriously, it was like
90, excuse me, 90, damn, five,
something like that around there.
four.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't even know any of that existed. We stayed up here.
It's
We
weird because now this is considered oil dough now
Yeah.
somehow.
Well, and once I got into business and I started getting like permits and opening businesses, I found out that there's actually Oildale is just a small section between the tracks and Merle Haggard, I think, because this is really considered North Hills. So growing up, I never knew that I lived in Oildale. Like nobody ever was like, "Oh, we're in Oildale." You know, like sometimes I'd see it if people mailed us stuff, but for the most part, it was North Hills, and that's actually before any of these houses. So there was just you remember there
Yeah.
was nothing.
Yeah.
So it was just we grew up in the dirt.
So what he's talking about is we're from Bakersfield, California, like the armpit of California. It's we are not like the rest of California. We still hold like traditional values.
Yeah.
We still believe in freedom. Um, we still say some of the F words, but we're at the very north tip of Bakersfield. There's nothing but field. It used to be nothing but fields around here, and so, like you said, it was like 95 through. I mean, up until like what 99, it was still undeveloped. It started developing when
Yeah.
we were in high school.
Yeah. So 99, we were going into our freshman year, 99. We seen Blink 182 that year.
Yeah, good
That shit was
stuff.
awesome. Actually, it wasn't, but yeah. So you can research Oildale. It's had many different things that it has been through in its 100 years of life. But I think we grew up in the best time of it, to be honest.
Got right on the tail end of the racist side,
Yeah,
and then
yeah. I mean, it
right
did have
before
its.
it.
You know what though? It did have a racist side to it, but I think that was more the generation before us. And even though a lot of us, people around us grew up through that, that's not really the way people were. You know what I mean? It was more of a facade. I guess maybe people trying to fit
I
into
think
like,
it's just pure ignorance. We don't
yeah,
know each
exactly.
other. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But you would probably see that in all cultures, people trying to live up to what their grandparents may have said or, had been through. I'm sure it goes the other way around. Um, But yeah, there's no other way to explain it besides pure ignorance. Honestly, it was. But also Bakersfield. The more I get out, I realize what a special place this is. For a long time, I wanted to leave this place, and I thought like, dang, I'm gonna be this tattooer. I can go anywhere in the world, and I don't feel that way anymore. I actually love this place. I don't see myself ever leaving Bakersfield.
Let's touch on that for a second. You are what I would consider an accomplished artist in general, but you mainly do tattoos. So why don't you explain some of that?
Yeah, so painting was always a big thing in my family. My grandma got me into it when I was a young kid. Just simple stuff. She would cut out, elves or whatever, and she'd have me paint the eyes in or, whatever. And actually, there was 8 of us. So it was my little brother and 6 cousins. And all the holidays they would come over, and it would be a big thing for my grandma to like paint with us. My grandpa, you remember, he had this wood shop, which at the time he had like every cool tool. So we spent a lot of time in there, and I was always just fascinated with that type of stuff. But of course, later, coming into uh 2003, of course, like we're 20 or something at the time. Kat Von D has this show on TV that just stopped the world from spinning. You know what I mean? About tattooing and just the life of a tattoo
You
shop.
think that that gave you some inspiration, that show?
Oh yeah,
Really?
I think it made I think it probably was a lot more negative to the industry than it was
I agree
positive,
with that, but
but in an indirect way. I think it was good for people like us that were true artists that were like, it's cool to be the black sheep, and you can still live this life, and you're not going to be trapped behind a computer desk, and every day is different. And to me, that was like super that was just an attractive thing. I was just like, man, this is crazy. These people are millionaires. Like they're making millions of dollars doing this. I want to do it, but it just seemed so far out of reach that it's just like, man, how though? Like I'm stuck here in Oildale, like. And I had a job when I was like I had a job the day I could get a job. Like maybe you too. Like I remember going to the library when I was 15 and a half and getting my work permit and getting a job at Santa Barbara Pizza right here in Oildale, and at that time like minimum wage was like $6 an hour, and it was just like, man, like it's just going to be painting and drawing, so I did it on my spare time. Really, it was more therapeutic.
hold on.
Yeah.
Before we keep going, we're gonna stop at therapeutic real quick. I want to finish out your childhood real quick so we can move forward.
Yeah, exactly. So that probably would have been a good spot to start right there. So up until the age of 12, we had a normal life. Everything was fine. Home life was fine. Good clean house, lot. And that was a big thing growing up too, is a lot of the kids we went to school with, like sometimes I would go over to their house, and I would, I had a chance to see a few broken homes at the time, or maybe a fatherless home, or just like just different dynamic. In Oildale, there's a lot of crazy shit going on all the time.
Yeah, all your friends are all over the place. You don't know who you're hanging out
Some,
with.
but some were cool too, and
They are all cool, but it's
yeah,
just they all come from different
yeah,
aspects of life, you know?
yeah, yeah, and some of it, like some of the really cool kids came from, like maybe I shouldn't say his name, but I'm just gonna say Robert. Some of the like greatest people that I know came from like the craziest houses, dude. Like,
Yeah.
so anyways, we'll get to that in a minute. So up until the age of 12, my mom and dad, they owned multiple oil field leases. We grew up around, basically my dad was doing downhole tools, packers, scrapers, balers, things like that for production rigs. His dad grew up doing that. He grew up doing that. I grew up doing that. That's what we were doing at the time. And so that's what we knew. We grew up on the leases. We drove tractors when we were 6 years old, unattended. We had our own tractor, my brother and I, and my dad would take us out. We would shoot guns, and we would also do the oil field stuff. And then really nothing, too crazy. We had a tight knit family. One of my uncles, actually, this is probably a good thing to cover. One of my uncles in the 80s, around the time I was born, was going through some things in life, and he, I think he was going to join maybe the Navy or something like that. So anyways, he starts this journey from Bakersfield down to San Diego, and somehow or another he ends up getting in buds training. And I think
What is that?
So BUDS training is basically the training that you would have to go through to become a Navy SEAL. I don't think he intended on doing that. There's this story that he met some guy on the way down, and the guy was like, "I'm going to go to BUDS training. You should come try it." So he goes in there. He gets through.
That's for you, by the way.
Okay, cool. And becomes a Navy SEAL. So that was probably the biggest thing as a child. Like, our lives and the rest of my cousins' lives were really boring. They took off from Bakersfield and moved down to San Diego. So we did a lot of growing up in San Diego as a kid. We even did SEAL Pup training in 1993 and 1994, which was basically like a kid's version of Hell Week. Like, we went down there and we shot like M60s right off the sand into the water. They had like a light obstacle course, but the craziest thing was is they were
Whenever you, like, were you your dad take you, or you? Was that something you did with just your uncle, or?
no, so it was maybe let's back it up just a little bit more. So my grandpa retired from Pacific Bell, and he retired really well. Really well. So it was always family functions
Gotcha.
that they paid for.
They pretty much took all the kids.
My grandpa would take my grandma,
Gotcha.
my dad, mom, me, my brother. My mom's sister had 2 kids, and then the guy that I'm talking about that became a Navy SEAL, he had 3 kids. So it was all of us. So we would load up in a van at 2 in the morning, and during the summertime, we would go for weeks at a time down, and he would get promoted, or we would go down for a week for SEAL Pups, and we would spend time there. But the wild thing is that they were doing Hell Week at the same time. And in the 90s, there was no discretion. Like, we could be on the beach having a good time. They weren't really being crazy with us kids, but they'd be beating the shit out of these dudes. And man, you're seeing people that aren't allowed to sleep for 5 days. It was just a super surreal thing to grow up in, and sometimes he'd wake us up at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, and we'd drive down to the SEAL facility, and he'd grab surfboards, and we'd go out and tread water in the morning, like before the sun would come up. It was terrifying. Like, it's seriously, as a child, when I think back, it's probably one of the scariest things I ever did.
That's what I was trying to get at when I was asking who was taking you. I was just wondering what was in your head, and what did that like somehow play a part in, like
Yeah.
certain fears, like your water fears or something.
Well, it did, but like, so both of my grandpas were World War II veterans. My dad was Vietnam veteran. Okay. So it was kind of in our family already. And just being a young, dumb, like, boy, you kind of think like, oh, I ain't scared of that. Like, I could do that, like, dang, that's cool. I want to be like them when I grow up, and then there was these points where we would be there. And I'm just like, I swear to God, I'm so scared right now that I'd rather die. Like, this is wild that you guys why are you doing this?
Yeah.
But it was cool, and now looking back.
Thank God they do. Shout out to the Navy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Shout out to all military, really. But the SEALs are they're on another level. They're really on another level.
I can't imagine dealing with water the way they do. Like, I get like out of breath and get nervous in the shower. I start like panicking. I'm like, oh my
I keep
God.
dripping this on myself.
It's all right, dude.
You're
not on camera.
dude, it's insane. Like, I don't know exactly what they do. I'm sure that anybody could get on YouTube and just look up like Hell Week, but like, some of the stories that I heard, they would take these guys out into the ocean and drop them off in, a team of 6 to 12. I don't know really the exact number. And they would just make them tread water basically all night long in Coronado Bay or in the ocean somewhere. And there's just brief them on sharks and all the different kind of sharks that are swimming. Like, it was just obviously psychological, but it was fucking crazy.
You know how cold
physical.
it must be, man?
Dude,
I can't
terrible.
do that.
Terrible. I'm not getting in that water without a suit, and I'm limited to like maybe 10 minutes.
I'm wearing like 2 or 3 suits. There ain't no way. I'm a
Yeah.
sissy. All right, let's get back into so you're around 12, you said.
Yeah.
How old were you when you had your accident?
So that was also 1999. So yeah, there really nothing important happened up to the age of 12. At least that's what I thought then. Like, I didn't really know what a great life and a great family I had until much later in life. Like, I thought that was normal. So 12 rolls around, and my dad spent 30 years in the oil fields building his own businesses, everything. And him and my mom, they never really got in too many fights. They get in this fight, he's gone. I come home in the morning from Kelly's house, stay the night at Kelly's house.
Was it a physical fight?
Yeah, it was a physical fight. And I don't know the details of it. Apparently, my mom had, assaulted my dad in some sort of manner. Supposedly, it was accidentally. Like I said, he was a very wild individual. My dad was a very mean person. He was a very violent
Scared the shit out of me.
person. Yeah, he was a very violent person, but also at the same time, he's a really good dad. He really spent more time with me and my cousins than anybody else. My dad took us out in the wild when we were younger and taught us how to survive off the land. And we ate out of a garden until like the age of 8. We had a garden in our front yard when that was legal. And we ate from that. Like, we didn't eat fast food growing up. I didn't really know about any of that. We fished, we shot guns. It was normal. All of a sudden, at the age of 12, he's gone. I don't see him for 6 months. I never really got along with my mom very well. You know that. It was a little bit of a rough time. I think what made it really rough was not even, so he comes back into the picture about 6 months later. Apparently, he went out and lived in his truck on an oil field lease that we owned until he got enough money to get an apartment and get out of there. And man, it's crazy too, like how he had to wait and get these money and wait on the division of oil of gas to send this measly paycheck to a PO box. It's unreal. It's a whole story of itself. But anyway, so he gets into an apartment. The first time I talked to him was 6 months later. I don't think I ever spent a day without my dad. And I tell him immediately, like, I want to come with you. Okay, so he's like, well, you're going to have to just do it then, because this is already it was a terrible divorce. Like, my mom instantly sold everything that he owned for pennies and dissolved the leases down, sold those away, and, just basically stripped him of everything that he ever did as a man. And it was rough. And that's not the way we seen it then, because, we wanted to believe our mom and this and that. And there were aspects of it that he did too. He was definitely wrong in his own way. But long story short, everything was ripped apart. And I don't know this new life. Now I live in Oildale. Now we live down in an apartment, in a 1-bedroom apartment in Oildale. And, we're in Standard. I went to Highland Elementary with a bunch of people who were going to be like brain surgeons and shit someday. And then all of a sudden, a year later, we're at Standard with all these kids from Beardsley. These kids already have like teeth missing and shit, just wild. And so, like, I'm just thrown into this like wild life, and well, you too. I mean, that's about the time we met. I think we met right around that time.
Right around there.
Yeah, 13
Mhm.
or so. I mean, we went to school together all growing up, and we knew
Yeah,
each
but
other,
we didn't
but we
really start
didn't.
hanging
Yeah,
out.
yeah. I always forget that too, and then I go back through the yearbooks, and it's like first, second grade, and I'm like, fucking Eric, bro, this fool still looks exactly the same. I look like a busted ass old fucking tank or something. God damn.
Oh man, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, it was, but it was cool, man. And then like, so another good person to get on here if you could ever figure out how is Darrett. But
I
so I
know.
meet
I've been
Darrett.
asking around for him. I heard bad things, but I hope the best.
He's man, I love him. He's I'd say that you're for sure probably my best friend that I've ever had, but Darrett is the most special human being in like good ways and bad ways that I've ever known in my life. And honestly, he's probably the only reason. So I went straight down there with just nothing but anger in my heart. You know what I mean? Like, and I wasn't like that. I didn't know how to deal with those things. I was a very angry, like sad, just I would say now just mentally ill. You know what I mean? Like,
Do you think? I disagree a little bit, but it's only because like I think you think mentally ill is caused by trauma,
I just say
or
mentally
do you
ill.
think just beat up by life before you should have had? You
No,
know?
because I was smarter than that though. Like I wasn't a stupid kid growing up. Like I didn't really hang out with kids before I met you. Like I didn't really have
You
friends.
don't call it neglected or like a lack of. There was just something there.
I knew what was going on and I just chose to be a bad person on purpose because I had an excuse.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like, I knew what I was doing was wrong at the time. I knew everything that we were doing at the time was wrong, and I did it anyways, and it was just an excuse, and I would blame everything on that. Like, nothing was ever my fault. It's because of the life I'm living, and it's because of everything that I have to see every day. And I did have to see some crazy things, but it's also because I put myself there.
Yeah.
I chose to be there though too. And I always wanted to live up to like how rugged of a man my dad was. The older that I got, I was just like, man, like he's just so respected, and like people know that
You saw that from a young age?
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, my dad was a huge person in like his circle of people. A lot of the oil field companies that still exist today, he either worked with those people or helped a lot of those people build those businesses when they were nothing. And well, like Ken Small, you can look Ken Small up. I grew up right next door to him. He used to live right next door to my grandparents, and they lived right next door to us. My grandpa bought that house, lent my dad the money for the house. My dad paid him back in like a very short amount of time. And then my grandpa was like, hey, I'm going to buy you these oil field leases, bought him that too. And just, it literally helped him out a lot. He came from a very bad childhood, like being molested, lots of really messed up things, and he grew up and became successful and moved his mom, his brothers, his sisters out here and gave them a new life. And like I always wanted that. Like that was one thing as a kid that I knew that I wanted to do one day, is like I have to find a way to be successful. But down in Oildale, you get trapped in this bubble where
Yeah, so you're there. Yeah, keep going.
yeah, so the most successful people that I can find in those days are people who are basically running teams of other people. So then I meet Darrett, and you remember Darrett, all of his older cousins were super big in the street thing going on and the drugs and the trafficking and all of that stuff here in Oildale. So that's who we look up to. And I think nobody more than Derek, to be honest, and hopefully he hears this and doesn't take it the wrong way and beat the shit out of me. But he did. He took it too serious, and I didn't see it till later, but like that's not the way, it's just not the way. But so that's what we did. We moved in there and we had 4 or 5 other people that lived there. And
Hold on, we back. You're skipping.
all right, where we leave off?
Your parents had just divorced.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You skipped over your accident.
Well, so the accident didn't come for a little bit though. So
You
like,
weren't moved out. You weren't living with Derek yet. You were
okay,
w-
yeah,
you
yeah, I
were
guess you're right. Okay. Yeah, 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 you're
you were
right.
living by the fire station.
Okay, so let's see. So then when I was 12, that had to have been like 1998 or 1999. Okay, yeah, so I leave there. I go live with my dad. I'm already hanging out with these people though, so I had 2 different ways that I could have went really at that time. But so one of the businesses that my dad had was something called fluid levels, right? So you essentially shoot a blank shotgun shell down the casing of a well. It goes down, it bounces off wherever the top of the fluid level is and comes back up to the surface. And then they'd have a machine called an echometer that you could measure the distance in the fluid level. Okay. So we start hanging out with Kelly's dad. I don't know if you remember, he lived with us for a while.
I don't remember that.
So his dad got caught manufacturing weapons for a biker gang that I won't mention.
I remember.
Okay. So he's gone for 5 years. So
I think I kind of might remember. I didn't know he lived with you, but I remember that situation.
Well, so he lived with Gail part time because Gail had a house down by the liquor store right there in Hughes and Chester.
Okay.
Okay, so she lives right there. So a lot of times he was there with his mom, and they were taking care of the house. So all of my dad's stuff's over there, and we go over there one time, and there's this man tattooing. And to be honest, this had nothing to do with me becoming a tattooer. I got my first tattoo by this guy and absolutely hated it. But so I show up, and Corey, that I believe you have it on here, is getting the back of his head tattooed at the age of 16 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have to do this. I want a tattoo. So I get a tattoo by this guy.
It's in a dirt field in a
Yeah.
driveway.
Yeah.
On like a weight bench
That's exactly. Yeah. In the sun.
in the sun.
Oh, okay. So I asked this guy, I'm going to draw this. I was already drawing.
Yeah.
So I draw this tattoo. I ask him how much, right? He tells me $40. And I'm like, damn, that's cheap. And he's like, well, that doesn't matter because I just killed a dude like a month ago. And I'm going to go turn myself in. I need as much money as I can get. So
I don't remember that.
This guy goes and turns himself in for first-degree murder, basically, already wanted. And we're in the driveway. There's no awning. There's no cover. We're getting tattooed out in the
just
open
tatting kids, bro.
with a needle that he pulled out of a tackle box.
Oh man,
I can't believe I did it. I can't believe I'm even alive. So, anyways, I get a box of these shotgun shells. I get this crazy idea, right? This guy, so this guy killed this dude by making a pipe bomb that he essentially hooked up to the engine of a car, and I'm not going to get too detailed, and blew this dude up and showed us how to make these things. A literal pipe bomb, like how to wet everything down, compress it, and like just do this crazy shit. So we're doing this with all my dad's shotgun shells, right?
God.
And
I haven't heard this whole story. I just got the ass end of it, so I'm learning about this too.
So I tell everybody, watch this shit. I'm going to get a Folgers can, and I'm going to make it. So on the back of the Speedway racetrack, they have that dirt berm. So we dig this big berm, and we put this motherfricker in there. And, dude, it was the best case of karma that I've ever seen in my life. I lit this match, and I swear to God on my life, the match head came off the match.
Oh, dude.
And, dude, it was like life slowed down, and I just knew, like, you're done. And this thing explodes, right? Instantly melts my eyes shut. I had 2 shirts on. It literally, the only part of my shirt was what was on my back. Like, it just fell off me. It vaporized everything. I had 3rd-degree burns on my face.
Did your shirt melt to your skin?
No. It was so hot, so fast, it vaporized my shirt.
Well, I mean, that's probably a good thing, I guess.
Burned my chest, stomach, legs, everything in the front of me was flash burn. And I knew I had to call my dad. I ran back. I looked at myself in the mirror, and I was just like,
dude, you saw yourself in the mirror?
damn.
In where? At Kelly's house?
Kelly's bathroom.
Damn.
He said it smelled like that for a year or two
No
after. Remember how they
way.
only had a swamp cooler in there? Fuck that house up, dude. He said he smelled
What
that.
do you remember, like, what you looked like whenever you saw yourself?
Oh, dude, man, I remember every single
Were you bleeding
second.
or
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, really?
Yeah, because I had acne real bad.
Yeah.
And, dude, wherever I had acne on my face was basically just dripping
Oh, man.
blood from, and it was just brutal, dude. No hair, bald, no eyebrows.
Yeah.
We had to literally kind of open my eyes to get them to open because
But
my
your eyes
eyelashes.
were probably burnt too a little bit.
No, it was just like your instincts are fast.
Okay.
Like I got it shut, and luckily, what the bad thing is, I learned in the hospital is a lot of people will breathe in like, and it'll burn their lungs. And luckily
Yeah.
for me, that didn't happen. But I go 6 hours. Nobody in Bakersfield would admit me without pain medicine. 45% of my body was 3rd-degree burned. Face, arms, the whole entire front of my body besides the knee that I was leant down on. That was the
It's
only
like
shin.
one of the only days I wasn't hanging out.
Yeah. Dude, and it was so sporadic. We didn't even plan to do it. We were just bored. We had nothing to do. And I was just like, let's make the biggest one we've ever made.
I 9/11'd you guys.
Yeah.
I didn't show up to the party.
Yeah. Fucking dick. I probably would have only got half burned if you were there. Yeah. So anyways,
you got airlifted
to Fresno.
Yeah.
Spend close to 2 weeks to a month in Fresno and a year on bed rest.
What did that conversation sound with your dad?
It was brutal. He beat the shit out of me when he got there. He didn't give a shit that I was burned. He hopped
Really?
out and he grabbed me by my neck skin. He grabbed me by the skin of my neck and he slapped the shit out of me about
Gosh,
4 or 5 times.
damn.
We went to Good Samaritan. They wouldn't even take me. We went somewhere else. They wouldn't take me. And a lot of it after that, I don't really remember because I was in shock so bad. I remember when they first gave me morphine at Fresno. That's the first and last thing I remember even being there. The very last day I remember that they had to put me in this big tub and they had to scrub my arms and they had to put like this netting. They had to put netting and stuff on my face and arms and I had to go lay down. I couldn't even take a shower, I think, for 30, maybe 40 days or something after that. I had to lay on a couch like that. Can't go in the sun, nothing. It was brutal. It was so much pain that was like the first time in my life where I like hallucinated things, like it was just, I don't remember one thing being in that hospital at all. It was insane.
Wild.
Yeah, it was insane. So I go, I get better from that. And at that time we start riding. We
Mhm.
start dirt bike riding.
Mhm.
I moved to the east side with what's her name at the time. I'm not even gonna say it,
Mhm.
but Adam Pierce, rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, Adam Pierce.
Yeah, man, just a crazy human being. Holy shit. He lived in the apartment next door, and I was just immediately sold. I was like, I don't know what Metal Militia is, and I don't know what
We're
Baco
in
Troops is, but
though.
I have to be a part of this. And I don't know how. I think maybe Jason was like the way we got in finally.
Yeah, rest in peace, Jason.
What?
Wait,
The Indian?
oh no. I
Oh,
thought we were talking about somebody else.
dude, I almost
You're
shit
talking
myself.
about Bird. All
Yeah,
right,
Bird.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so we meet Bird, and he's hanging out with all these dudes. We were the first people to probably wear Metal
You know
Militia
what?
in.
I haven't seen that guy for a minute.
He's still living in a
We need to
field,
go
I guess.
find that guy somewhere. We
Dude,
need
he'd
to
be
see
dude. He would be epic. I think he has the world's longest jump on a dirt bike
something
too, bro.
close to it. He still has those ramps out there. I know
Yeah.
that.
He'd be a good one to get on.
Dude,
He's
he's
a
the
wild
homie. He would
animal.
definitely come over.
You remember when he broke his legs and he had that halo on his leg
Yeah,
and
I
he
used to
tried to
work
take
for
it
that
out with a
dude.
drill?
Yeah,
I couldn't believe that. I was like, I've seen some messed up stuff, but god dang.
Yeah, medical bills are out of control, dude. Whenever you're blowing out your leg every couple weeks, you can't keep going back.
Dude, that dude was a mess, but he was an idol though at the same time. They were just doing whatever they wanted, man. I love that. I think they were doing a little bit fucked up because there was drugs and stuff and
See, I never saw any of that, and maybe I did, and I just ignored it because it was so normal in my life. Like it was just drugs are what you do.
yeah.
But like I hear that from like a couple people, like, oh man, the drugs, they were always on drugs, and I'm always like, isn't everybody always on drugs? Like
I don't know. I never did any, dude. I don't think I ever did one drug until I was. I mean, did we ever drink? Did I drink really
yeah,
that
we
much?
drink a little bit, but
Yeah.
it wasn't.
Well, I never did anything else until I was at least 24.
Yeah,
Never smoked for sure. You'd have never been able to get me to smoke.
I know.
You'd have never.
I talk about that, like how mean I was to Matt for smoking weed, and I was like,
All of us. I can't even say what I used to tell people about that. But I
used
grew up
to
in a
suck.
house where like weed and heroin were the same thing in my
Yeah.
household. We didn't have anybody that I never seen alcohol in my house one time growing up. So it was just unnatural to see people like that. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But drugs were everywhere. That was just in the day when it wasn't out all the time. Like I never saw them smoke drugs either, or like do meth or whatever it was that they were
yeah.
smoking.
When you look back, I
Even
guess you
weed,
can
they
assume
kind of
that.
kept it to themselves.
Yeah.
Like they were, they made it even seem bad to smoke weed
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
like, but yeah. So we started doing that.
Mhm.
We met Jacob Michalski.
Yep.
Started riding for Zero Gravity.
Yeah, that was fun.
Fucking
Good
hauling
times.
ramps around in an S10.
Making
Blazer.
those. So we used to make ramps. That's where
Yeah,
my
dude.
whole journey started. Was
I
the
think-
welding is what was right
Yeah.
there. You know
I
what
think
I
our
mean?
first business that you and I ever did, it was the first thing I ever did was hectic
Hectic
ramps.
ramps,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we fucking chopped those up. And my grandpa was like, dude, I swear to God, if you mess my welder up. Remember, it was a stick feed. It was just like a
So
ghetto.
I talk about this welder all the time, and I always say, I'm like, damn, I don't remember where I got that damn stick welder from, but
It was my grandpa.
I had that damn thing for so long, and no hood, don't know what I'm doing,
Just
but
go.
I made it happen.
Yeah, we did. Probably not good. I'm glad a real welder didn't show up and inspect it because
dude.
they would have shut us down.
Well-
Imagine if they would have caught us on that Fuel TV thing that we did at the
I
bullfighting arena.
know,
If
I
they would
know.
have showed up and been like, "Who
Dude,
made
Fuel
this?"
TV, I forgot all about Fuel TV.
So sick.
That was
So
a long
sick.
time ago.
Yeah.
So, meanwhile, I assume you're drawing all the time, like therapeutically, like.
Not really. I got away from that for a long time. I would say that I never took drawing seriously until shortly after where we are in the timeline. I started drawing, and I actually started drawing because we started to get into. I get better from the fire. My dad starts getting sick at the time. He moves up to Tehachapi.
What did he get sick with? Because I don't actually know.
They don't know.
I
for
never
sure.
heard this actual story.
So there's two things. Either it was something from Vietnam, because it was kidney failure, and he died young, and what I think it was is he got valley fever here in the 70s, and they told him that one of the risks was severe kidney trauma. So he gets better from that, and I think later in life it just caught up with him. Plus, he smoked 2 packs of cigarettes, and I'm not even joking, every day. He'd buy 7, 8 cartons at a time. This is when you could smoke inside restaurants. He would smoke and eat at the exact
Oh,
same time.
gosh.
Like he would breathe the smoke out while he would have his breakfast in his mouth. It was disgusting.
That's wild.
Yeah, smoker. Both my parents.
When men were
weirdly.
men.
Yeah.
When women were men.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. God damn. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I mean, whenever there are actually men, now I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
Shout
they're
out
they're
when women were men.
shot.
I don't
They
know.
are shot out, is what you meant.
Bro,
to say.
you can't tell anymore. You can't tell. You'll see one, and you're like, who's that? And then you're like, oh, that's Frank. And you're like, oh, damn, like.
Yeah. They got him. They got him. The dark side got him, dude. It's like Fern Gully out here.
So bad.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's
All right, so
sad.
he gets sick.
Yeah, so he gets sick, and I'm taking care of him. I'm working on a production rig at this time. I'm having to drive down to LA in my, truck to take him down there to get dialysis. So I'm living this double life at the time. Okay, so I move out. I didn't want to go to Tehachapi. I move in with Derek behind Standard Park, right behind Standard Middle School. And I go into the wildest life that I've ever lived in my life. The next 7 years of my life, I would have never, ever guessed all the things that were going to happen. I shouldn't even be alive. And in some cases, a lot of us shouldn't. Well, we just are real lucky to be alive. Like, but I really, I got to be kind of careful how I get into some of that stuff. But we're really lucky to be alive. But also 2 days a week, I would come home from the rig. I would grab my dad. He would drive down from Tehachapi and meet us at Zorba's, the famous spot right here. And I would pick him up. He would leave his car there. I'd drive him to LA, to the VA. And he would have to do kidney dialysis for 6 hours. So I'd get down there like 8 o'clock at night. And for a while I would stay, but then it got boring. I couldn't go in there. So I would leave and I would drive down to Hollywood Boulevard and I would park somewhere on La Brea by Pink's Hot Dogs. I would eat at Pink's Hot Dogs every day, every time I was down there. And I would walk around 100% by myself. So I go down and I see this tattooer smoking outside. He's smoking a joint right in front of everybody on Hollywood Boulevard. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I was like, fuck, I'm going to go back. I'm going to talk to this dude. And this dude's Rafa. Oh, man, hopefully, like, somehow this gets out, too, because I've been down there so many times to try to find this guy again. But anyways, I meet
How old
this.
were you?
I was 20 at
Okay.
this time. So I met this guy, Rafa.
From what?
Hollywood Boulevard Tattoo at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, so this would have been in 2005, 2006.
Why don't you put out your contact information real quick while you're.
Oh yeah. If you're out there, you could find me at Ryan Smith Tattoo on Instagram or Society 9. But Ryan Smith Tattoo, you could find me right there. I'll pop right up. So yeah, I just meet this random guy, make friends with him, hang out with him for a little bit, and then as time went on, I would just keep coming week after week. I'd see him 2 times a week, and then sometimes 3 times a week, depending on what the schedule was. And he started tattooing me. And just hanging out.
Really?
Yeah.
You remember his first tattoo?
Yeah. He did this 38 special revolver.
Really?
Right here. He said, if you let me do whatever I want on you, I'll tattoo you for
Is
free.
that how you got the top side too?
No, that
Was that him?
that was somebody different. He did most of this on the bottom part of my arm. Just some ghetto stuff,
Yeah.
But it was just I had already kind of known about the tattoo thing that was starting to become big.
Yeah.
And now I found myself
Well,
sitting here.
by then we had been making
tattoo
machines in the
Yeah.
bedroom. So.
Yeah, but you know what? Weirdly though, I still never thought about being a tattooer.
Well, and that's what's wild. That's why, because you were heavily drawing back then. We were in
Yeah,
art classes. We were doing a lot of that stuff. We were tattooing, not exactly with that in mind, and that's why I asked, like, where in this journey did you find out that you're like, that all right, this is me. I'm gonna do this.
I think right there at that shop, because I realized that he was kind of living that same kind of like East LA life. Like, and the more I got to know him, that like he was living in the hood. I don't know where, but just listening to his stories, he was living in the hood. And somehow or another, he would catch buses or however he was getting there. He would come over there and he would tattoo all day, dude, and he would be busy. And I mean, this is like I said, 2005, 2006. Every night I was down there, he'd make $300, maybe $500, $600. you know, like that. I worked all week on a production rig to make $1,000. And this guy's smoking weed on Hollywood Boulevard, tattooing people, sometimes famous people. I was like, this is amazing. Like, this is crazy. I still didn't quite think that's what I wanted to do, but I just knew that I loved it more than anything in the
And
world.
that's what made you start drawing? Or
No,
made you start focusing on maybe just getting more into it?
no, when I got a little, like, I was heavy into drawing around the time that, like, I was with my mom and them on Quail Rock. That was a brief moment I moved back in with them. But I kind of got out of that still until a little later. Once we started getting in trouble and we started doing wild things, I think I was about the only one smart enough to see where that was going to lead. And I met this good friend of mine named Josh Parker. I don't know if you remember him or not.
I don't.
And man, man, he was such a special being, dude. And
Is he gone?
yeah, he killed himself.
Oh, man.
Yeah, his home life was unreal, unreal. Just yeah, unreal. His mom was a big time dealer, and just his home life was unreal. But he was doing so good. We were gonna open a tattoo studio together, but we met doing wild stuff, and I can get into that a little bit. So what we started to do.
Yeah, let's get into some crazy stuff.
Okay,
Let's hear it. Let's hear some stories.
Okay, so this is when computers.
Give the people what they want.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I gotta. Yeah, so this was the time when computers were brand new.
Yeah.
Right. So Darrett's mom had a computer, and she left it at the house when she rented it to us. So she rented us a 5-bedroom house for $1,000 a month. We filled up every bedroom at $300 a month, which was that was my job. Right. So I got the second master bedroom, but my job was to find out how much PG&E was, how much is the gas, how much is the water, how much is rent, and how much are we going to need to feed all of our caveman asses, because nobody ever had money. So it came out to about $1,500 a month. So I'm like, okay, 15 divided by 5. We're going to do $350 a month just to get a little extra money, right? So we do that. Everybody comes in at $350 a month. I collect rent. I pay Darrett. It was like a weird little prison or something like that. It was crazy. Okay, so we had a computer,
like a Fight Club,
kind of. But so that was my job, right? And that's what I had to do to be able to have the second master bedroom, which had a shower and a bathroom in the room with me, right?
Yeah.
So Hareem's job when he moved in, because he moved into the room in my tattoo studio.
Yeah.
Right? So his job was the cooking. Robert's job was the cleaning. And Brandon's job was also the cleaning, which he never really did shit, but he got away with it because he was just chill, right? So
Oh yeah, I remember Brandon.
yeah, Del Toro.
I didn't
He's a
remember
good
dude. Where's what happened to that
goofy ass.
guy?
I don't know if
He
he's
was
doing
cool
his-
though.
He was cool, but
He was just a good guy to have around.
yeah,
He's like
was.
a, what do they call him? NPC. Like
Yeah.
the
The bad thing about him is that what he ended up being now that I look back, what his job title was basically being himself, because Darrett was a fighter and he was brutal. He wanted to fight constantly, but he wasn't the type of person that would really start a fight for no reason. So what Brandon's job was he always got drunk too fast and he would just mouth off. And the first person that had any problem with Brandon had no clue what they had no idea what they were in store for.
Oh, Darrett.
And Darrett would just eat them. I
Yeah.
seen hundreds. And well, so let's go back a little bit.
You
before
know,
get into
I
that.
always say this. I'm very thankful to have that good guy on my side.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful to have him as a friend
Yeah, yeah,
because you don't want to be on Darrett's bad side.
No.
He's
no.
like a T-Rex that could smell you from 3 miles away. He's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
find you.
Yeah.
If he has to knock on every
He'll come
gosh
straight
damn
to you.
door.
He'll come straight. You'll be and the crazy thing is that he is so tactical. He is so smart. He doesn't even tell people at all that there even is a problem, because you're not even going to know until it's him letting you know. He wouldn't even give you the honor of
No.
knowing that he's coming.
No, you fucked up. You just fucked up.
Yeah, yeah. He's coming, and I've seen him go through front doors. I've seen him go inside of houses and do things to people that are just like, I can't even get into detail about some of it. He is an absolute vicious beast.
And that
Of a
guy's
human being.
if it wasn't for like people like him or you, like he even though, like his heart was always
It was
in
good.
the right place.
It
It
was
was
good.
never it was just he never did anything that it was like selfish. It was
If you came over to that house and you had a good heart in your chest and you had respect, you had somebody that would give his life for you on the first day.
Yeah, for sure.
On the first day.
Yeah, if he saw it, yeah, for
It
sure.
was about honor and integrity
Yeah.
with that guy. And if you lacked that at all, that
dude's got
turn you into a pancake.
Bible heart.
Yeah, for reals.
For reals.
And that's what he used to say too. And it's actually his mom's saying, but they used to say, and it's their family saying, if you got hate in your heart, let it out. And he used to think that that was the funniest closer. He would just smash through about 10 or 15 people. And he used to tell us at the end of the night, if you got hate in your heart, you just have to let it out. And that'd just always be the closer. And I was just like,
that's crazy.
my
I don't think
God.
that's what that's supposed to
I
be.
don't think so either, dude. But, you know, he interpreted it the way he interpreted it. And yeah, so it was wild. So me and a couple other friends get this idea, right?
Okay.
So we start hearing about, I don't even know if I should say it, but basically registered sexual offenders,
Uh-huh.
right? So they create a website called Megan's Law at this time.
Mhm.
So I was like, what if we get on here and see who's close to us? So we kind of got into that for about a year. And believe it or not, they live on your street.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
And our job basically was just to go and try
Some
to
of our
like,
closest friends and family.
yeah, you honestly, there has been cases where you probably don't want to know.
Yeah.
But we would just do our normal thing on a Friday or Saturday night. And like, if it happened, then like whatever the address was that was happened to be on the computer, you know, maybe, you know, they'd walk.
That's what the computer. That's why you brought up the computer.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. So that was all we knew. Like that we didn't really ever know anything else. Like aside from just looking up what fucking
Yeah.
Santa Barbara Pizza's number was, like what is a computer even for?
You ever heard about porn?
Nah, we
There was
didn't.
porn.
Yeah,
you
but-
didn't have to kill or hurt innocent people.
Yeah.
Not innocent, but well, I mean, maybe they just.
Well,
I
that's
don't know.
murdering
That's not my-
millions.
You know what?
I mean?
I'm an innocent bystander. I'm just filming. You tell
But
me the story.
At the time, though, we kind of all were going through the same thing, and we thought that that was like a good thing. Like,
Yeah.
Dang, these people put their addresses online.
Yeah. Well,
Let's go there.
not because they wanted to.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but oh well. Like you did that to somebody's kid.
Yeah,
and
for
like
sure.
I'm sorry about your luck,
Yeah,
but like
that's what
I'm
comes.
really sorry. We're coming over, and like that's the way it's gonna be, and we just go and
I
just
think
go.
that should be allowed to be a thing, like like the vigilante thing.
Well,
I mean, if you, I don't know, maybe that.
the bad thing is, dude, is that I seen, and we were all part of very, very vicious things that other people who had nothing to do with it were dragged into because they're never in there by themselves.
Ah.
And when you go in and you do something like that, everybody in that place is subject to what's about to happen, and it's not right. It's sad that the system's broke, but that's definitely not the answer. That's not the answer. I've seen a lot of really, really bad things happen to people that didn't even have any idea of that and may not have even known that they were convicted, you know? Maybe they just hit them up and were like, hey, I'm going to move in with you for a while. Never told them, you know? Like, there's a lot of things that ran through my head, and that's what I started to realize is that this is only going to lead to one place. And I met Josh.
What was that place?
Death or definitely prison. I mean, any one of those.
What were you more afraid of?
Prison. Yeah, prison for sure. Yeah. I don't think I was really that scared of death at that time. I mean, you remember I was a little bit, I think I was still a little weird. I did those things really, truly. I wanted to do those things already. And I think that I was just smart enough to do it with two people that I thought deserved it. But really at the root core of it, like I was just super angry and I just wanted to do those things, you know? And it truly was like a mental illness. We got real carried away for kind of a while, I think.
Do you feel that it has messed you up now? Like, do you remember those things and wish you didn't remember them?
No, not at all.
Interesting. Can you explain why?
Yeah, just because there came a day where I realized what I was doing and where I was going. And I was grateful that I was still smart enough to know that. And I realized that if I don't stop doing this type of stuff, it's going to consume me. And that's not what my dad would have wanted. That's not what anybody would have wanted. And also, I still had that drive in me to be something.
It changed you in a good way.
It did change me in a
You had to
good
go
way,
through
yeah.
a dark tunnel to find some sort of light.
I don't really think I looked at it as like that until much later though. Like honestly, there was the first time that I had ever done any drugs was the first time I realized how lucky I was to be free and to be alive and like how grateful I should be for life. And I made so many bad decisions. I would have been so much further ahead because I was a smart kid, you know, growing up. I was very smart. Like I read a lot of books as a kid and I just realized that you did all these things really just because you wanted to do those things, you know, and it was kind of an evil thing to do because and it was rooted in evil. Like I'm not going to lie when I say that. It was definitely rooted in the fact that I just simply wanted to like do that because we thought that's what made you somebody. That's what all the big guys were doing. Like everybody feared them, you know, when they said so and so this or so and so that or this or that, like whatever they said went. And, you know, Darrett's trying to live up to these guys. We were all trying to live up to these guys.
Yeah,
That's the truth of it.
they kind of protected us. They kind of gave us a sense of safety, you know.
Yeah, they did, but at the same time, they didn't care about us. You know, it was just a way for them to commit crimes without
Bro,
getting off their couch.
I don't even want to get into it, but I will just drop his name again, Thomas Pinkerton. You got a lot of explaining to do, sir.
Yeah, luckily you didn't live around us.
Yeah, hey, no shit, man. You
But
brought up some trauma.
but you know what though, dude? Like I knew that. I knew that about that
Everybody
guy.
says that,
I
and it's
knew it.
crazy, but you know, maybe I just wanted like to have that father figure in my life that I just didn't see it.
Yeah, well, as long as he didn't touch your
But
ball,
he
I
didn't. He
mean,
didn't touch me. He never did that. But he used to kiss me on top of my head and tell me that same thing, like "I love
yeah.
you, son." And I don't. I ain't never heard that before. My dad sure ain't never told me that before. You know what I mean? And
Fuck, man.
I had no idea I was being groomed to get. That's wild. It's wild, dude.
That's real
And he
wild.
is lucky, dude. Because like I wondered what happened to him, but if I don't know, dude.
Well,
That's
the
wild.
last I looked, it was up to like 40 people, and I bet my family that, and I've told
Oh,
them,
dude, it's been going on way longer.
yeah. So I was in Phoenix when this happened, when I seen this.
Yeah.
I woke up and somebody had texted me that, and I had told Anika and the kids about this a long time ago, and I talked to my kids about these types of things. I even talked to my kids about what we used to do. To like, I don't get into detail with them, but I let them know that that is basically the evil of all evils, and this is how we used to handle that when we came across somebody. But I knew it, and then I came out and I told her, and I was just like, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'll bet you it goes well over the hundreds. I guarantee you that he has touched hundreds and hundreds of different kids across the nation.
I think about it now. I'm like that guy has skipped through state by state by state by state,
Exactly.
you know, and you wonder why. Is it because like he got nervous, or
I
was
mean, I
that
just
his
think
whole
that's.
plan the whole time,
But
dude?
think about what thieves do.
That
They
is
do.
so
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh, I think it. Well, yeah. I can never believe that that happens on accident. There's no way in my mind that I'll ever be able to understand how anybody can be attracted to a young female or male. Like that is absolutely the most vile thing I could ever think of in my life. That's just there's no doubt in my mind that I'm not for that type of stuff.
It definitely fires you up on like a different level of emotion. Let's take a quick break. I need some more water and we'll grab some more beers.
Perfect.
Have 60 seconds, okay?
Cool.
60 seconds, guys. We'll be right back. plan is to hopefully, like, whenever those breaks come up, that's where I can, like, put, like, an ad, like, so,
Yeah.
like, perfect spot would be, like, I could have done, like, a pre-ad for your tattoo shop,
Fuck, that's a good
and then I
idea.
could have just been like, boom, put that in there,
Dude, we should do that.
and then we could have went and taken a break and then came back, but
Yeah. Yeah, we'll figure out a ad price, dude.
it's
And
like
I
$3,000 I ever
yeah,
thought
fuck.
about.
I can. I'll do like 15 minutes of that spot then. You can break it up into 5 different ads or something. I don't know, something little.
All right, so we're at you beating up homeless people.
Not homeless people.
Just kidding.
Pretty much all my best friends are homeless, dude. I love homeless people. I would never ever do something like that. It has happened once or twice, but it wasn't because they were homeless. So yeah, we're just being wild and we're doing shit, and I realized that like this is not gonna last very long, and I think at that time what it was is that my mom, I felt like wanted to kind of wanted me to fail in a sense. I felt like
you think she
hurt.
was jealous of you somehow?
No, I don't think she was jealous. My mom was an awesome mom, man.
She was. Thank you.
Really, truly
I want
was.
to shout out Kathy. Either way, she saved my life. She helped me
Yeah.
out a lot.
She was a good mom. She didn't do my dad right, and she didn't do us right in the manner that she went about, and that's for her. You know, at the end of time, I believe all things will be whatever they're meant to be. But my mom was a good mom, but it hurt her feelings that I left and went with my dad, and I believed everything my dad said, and I lived by everything that my dad said, and a lot of it wasn't probably correct, and it just made her so mad and hurt, I'm sure. Being a dad now, I'm sure it was hurt. But she did want me to fail.
She did love you, though.
She did love me, but it was under her conditions, you know. And I know you remember when you were living with us, the lunch money thing, you know, to hand one kid $100 on a Monday,
Yeah.
and to hand another kid $20 to share with his friend that's living with him at the time.
Yeah.
Whatever, you know, we made it happen. You know what though?
I'm very thankful to have you. I'm just gonna say that right now.
That's where the hustler in me was born.
I'm very thankful to have you in my life, man. You changed my life. Thank you.
Thank you. You too. You too. And it was nice to have somebody there that was like, because my brother was never close with me. I always had to really struggle to be close to my brother because he was really on my mom's tit. They still live together this day. He's like 40. It's unreal.
He's not 40. I'm not 40.
Well, 35, but you know, it still. And whatever. That's awesome. But I just never had that relationship with him, and I did with you.
It is awesome
and,
for
like,
you know, but
it was cool to have somebody. Well, and then my dad's best friend growing up ended up being my stepdad, and I hated the guy. I hated.
Really?
him.
I had no idea about
That was my dad's best friend
I
growing
had no
up.
freaking clue.
Yeah. One time we pulled up on the lease when I was like 7 years old, caught him there sleeping. He was supposed to be working. My dad told him, "Get the fuck off my lease. Don't ever come back." And he was just like a womanizer all growing up. He used to come over, and then when he would leave, my mom and dad would make jokes about him. 7 months after my dad left, he was sleeping in my mom and dad's bed with her under the same fucking blankets, and the curtains were the same, the carpet, like,
damn, dude.
it was my dad's house still.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gone.
Yeah.
You know, I was 12 years old at the time. I was right in the middle of my stupid teenage rebellious, I hate everybody thing. Dude, I'm gone. But that was a good time, and she did take care of us, and she still did a lot for us, and I do appreciate that. But that is truly where my hustle was born. Like, I always, in those days, we would draw on backpacks. Buy me lunch, I'll draw on your JanSport. Bring paint markers, I'll draw on your JanSport. I'll put sheets of paper in your binder.
It's weird
and
how,
draw.
like, it was just like, what, me, you, Derek, and, like, what, Matt? We were, like, the only people in school that drew. There was a couple girls that did. But
I remember you. I do remember Derek. That's about it.
Yeah,
I
nobody
didn't grow
else.
up around
Isn't that weird that, like, they had no imagination? It was wild.
But if they did, though, I like things that are, I'm, like, really drawn to things that are rare, I guess. You know, like, I loved that a lot of people weren't into it. Like, it felt good being the only one at school that can pimp your JanSport out that good.
Yeah.
Like, I'll draw flames on your binder, and they'll be so fucking fire, but you have to buy me lunch all week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I thought that was like a superpower.
It's weird that you thought like that. Like, in my mind, it was just like something that you like you should do. Like everybody should draw.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like that's just something that was part of life. I didn't
Yeah,
even
yeah.
think about it. Like nobody else is drawing. I don't. I lack
Yeah.
that sense in my brain. I
And
don't.
drawing is like different. Like when I draw, it's because I'm either deep in thought about something really serious or it is some kind of therapeutic. Like when I look back, all my most depressed times in life is when I spent with a pen. You know? Like I don't paint that way though. That's not how I feel when I paint. I'm pumped when I paint. I have an idea for months and I paint it and I
Really.
love it. And it's just like who I am. Like that's my true spirit.
Let's take a break real quick. Not take a break. Let's keep going. But I want to pull up one of your paintings.
Yeah, I got everything right there on YouTube.
I want to. Oh, on YouTube.
Yeah, it's right on you. I have a bunch of videos on there.
All right. So what do we type in?
Just type in Society 9 tattoo. Let's see if that pops up. Number 9.
Okay.
But yeah, drawing was always like therapeutic. Like I realized like I did a lot of my drawings. Yeah, there we go.
What's
Yeah.
your favorite painting?
Oh, that one right there. I
Really?
spent 300 plus hours on this painting. I spent more time on that painting times 3 than anything else ever.
So you say you just said that you think about them for months.
Mhm.
What were you thinking?
This actually was a little more my kid's idea. I was gonna do a baby Jesus, and the kids were like, Everybody does that. You should do a dinosaur." And I was like, "Well, what kind?" And they were like, "A baby long neck." And I just was like, "Oh,
Oh,
wow,
really?
yeah, absolutely, yeah."
But you already had the Jesus in your mind.
I already had Jesus
Did
on
you
canvas.
have?
I drew everything on there with her holding a lamb and
Is
Jesus.
that Mary?
It's yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And then I was like, okay, if there's a dinosaur in there, then how's that even make sense? So then I was like, okay, cool, let's put a fucking asteroid coming,
It
and
gives
maybe
me
she's
weird
taking a
feelings looking
dino
at
with
it.
her, for souvenir. And she's like, well, we got to get this place ready for humans, but I'm gonna take this little baby boy
Oh,
with me. You know what I
really?
mean? Yeah.
That's dope.
And there's little mushrooms on the bottom.
Yeah.
Because,
So, what can you the lights, the eyeballs? What are these?
there might be another video. I ended up painting human fetuses, a male and a female fetus, in there, and basically like they were getting ready to seed the earth with
Really?
with
So it was
like, humans.
basically the earth was falling apart, and she's like,
Yeah, they knew.
like, this sucks. Like, we got to get.
I'm gonna take this little guy with me, and then we're
Damn.
gonna wipe everything clean, and then we're gonna put humans
That's
here.
kind of rough to hear, man.
Yeah, I know, but I had to make it make sense one way or another. So
Badass. We need.
yeah, I guess maybe I haven't been posting on there as much as I thought I
Yes.
had.
Anything on your Instagram?
Yeah. Everything's on Instagram. That's pretty much all I do. But so yeah, I got into well, actually that's probably the best part of the story, so I should probably wait
Yeah.
until I
So
can
we're
really-
talking about painting. I mean,
Well,
I know
so-
you have a still around here.
I start drawing because of my friend Josh, right? So my friend Josh, he moves off to like Wyoming or Montana, gets a job on a drilling rig. He's making stupid money. So I told him, "Hey, we need $20,000. If you could do 10 and I can do 10 somehow, let's figure out a way to open a tattoo shop. That's what we've always wanted to do." Okay, so he moves off. A year or two later, my wife and I meet. We move into this house. We have our first kid. We're chilling. We're just living a regular life at this point, right? Everything's good. Okay, so I'm getting ready to open this shop called Ink Poisoning. It's my first shop. I opened it with Jacob. Jacob was actually my business partner. He was the one that we rode for in Zero Gravity FMX. So him and I opened this shop together. Everything's like immediately. We made like $100,000 the first year. Like everything right away just was like as soon as I committed to it like with my heart, everything just happened. Like truly, it was so smooth. Like we were going through a lot of money. Like dude, we had to borrow $500 to even get the deposit for this like 1-bedroom apartment, pretty much for us to live in. And a year later, my wife is driving a BMW. Like we're doing well. You know what I mean? Like instantly blew up. So I approached Jacob and I'm like, you're not really here all day like I am. and you're taking 70% of this money. How much can I buy you out for? So we come to this price. I buy him out. Now Anika and I own the business. So to be clear, Anika bought him out. I actually didn't even have that much money. Every single penny I made went into 6 or 7 different envelopes for rent, family, PG&E, whatever the fuck, building. Every penny. I never had a penny for myself. I reinvested everything for about 10 years straight. So Anika's like, I'll do it. So buys him out, pays him this money cash, right? She was doing fantastic at saving money at this point. Like, she made money just appear out of nowhere. It was awesome.
Was it a lot of money?
It was a lot of money. It wasn't probably as much as you think. It was under 10 grand, but it was a lot of money.
At the time.
Considering.
Because you built
yeah,
the brand way
yeah.
bigger now.
Dude, and I'm talking about running a $6,000 a month business, and I'd probably never had $200 in my account at a time. Like, there was never time. My PG&E was always late. Sometimes it was so late, my bills were so late, I would drive down to Vest Drugs and pay it in real time with cash because I didn't have time to go to the bank. Like, tomorrow, my electricity would be shut off if I don't go down there right now before 5 o'clock and pay this. So she's like, I'll buy it, right? So I'm like, good, buy it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my truck in collateral. So I signed my truck over to her, and it's yours. And at that time, she didn't have a car, so I was like, don't worry about it. Just drive the truck, use the truck. It's your truck. Don't worry about it. So I have to buy this truck back. You know, I already paid $30,000 for this truck. I have to buy this truck back. And hold on 1 second.
That's fine. Sorry, guys. This is part of it. We do things raw around here.
All right. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Sorry. Life happens.
Yeah. So we're business owners. Long story short, we own our first business solely.
Did that just let me ask you about those feelings. Whenever that shit actually went down and you were laying in bed and you were with her, like, what the fuck were you? Like, you were just exploding with, like,
No,
just.
I didn't even tell her, but I cried the next morning. It didn't hit me until I walked in there the next morning and I got down on my hands and knees. And that's the first time in my life that I put my hands on the ground and I just said thank you out loud. Like, literally out loud. I was happy.
To
Like,
God, you think?
just, yeah, I guess so. I guess. Just to life. You know, I don't know if I really, God or whatever, but yeah, I did do that. And yeah, that was the intent, that I do believe that there is.
Just thankful for.
Yeah, I did it because I believe that, like, once I started doing good and stopping all that, I seen real change, and it made me believe that there's definitely something else going on. Like, whether you want to call it God or life or karma or whatever, I do believe that there is higher something, and I believe that it rewards you when you deserve it and that it punishes you when, you don't deserve it. And we all have friends that are still living there. But yeah, we're business owners, and we didn't even look at the books all year. We found out that we made like 90 the first year, and I couldn't believe it. That was so much money. Like, and I was
And so you said every bit just went right back into the
yeah, and we
business.
didn't have no money. We were still struggling exactly the same, but we had generated $90,000 and we had built the busiest tattoo studio in Bakersfield at the time. I mean, we were on the radio, we were advertising at the mall, we were everywhere. We just blew up. And not only that, we had 6, 7, 8 of the best artists in town. We had a famous graffiti artist apprenticing under me. He was already well known and famous at the time.
Yeah, shout out Melt.
Yeah, Melter. Sick dude, man. Man, me and him went through so much stuff. He was such a kind-hearted person too, and like, for him to come in there, dude, there'd be old friends that would come into the shop, dude, and I'd just sock those dudes, or there would be fights in the shop all the time. Like, it was so wild in the beginning of that shop.
Why?
Just either
The politics. It was just wild back then. Like,
it wasn't even that, dude. It was just the homeless people. Like, people would just walk to the store next door,
yeah.
Gas War. They'd buy their 40. They'd be smashed already, and we'd be sitting outside. They'd walk by and just be, say something. Or sometimes people would come in and grab a laptop off the thing and just walk out, not even run. They would just walk off drunk, and we'd run outside. sock him in the head and fucking take the laptop back. And like, dude, it was just wild. Like Melt came from the east side. He didn't know anything about Oildale and
Yeah.
how wild it was. None
Yeah.
of these people did. But we were busy.
He's doing good for himself.
He was doing good for himself then.
Yeah.
It actually helped me more to apprentice him
Mhm.
than it did him for me, because he already had such a crazy fan base that at that time, I think more people became aware of me because of Melt
Really?
than because of my own. Yeah. Oh man.
Because of just his spray art.
Yeah, because of his graffiti. But he had just a crazy following. He really did.
It's so cool to see like his stuff all over town, dude.
He's
Like he's
insane.
like the guy. He's
Yeah.
like the new Chaka.
Oh, dude, and he has I could probably hit him up and get him on here too, but he has a crazy story about how he can never go back to Canada. They actually held him at Edwards Air Force
I
Base.
don't know if he'd
for-
come on.
Oh, he would. He would.
Have his face on?
I'll bet you I could. No, because
have to wear a
he
mask.
got convicted of it.
Oh,
He could talk about it.
I talk to him every now and then on Instagram.
No,
but-
he did his time at Edwards Air Force Base,
Yeah,
like
well,
federal
Texas
time.
ass. Texas
Oh,
ass
yeah,
right
dude.
now.
He would love that. He
So
would love that.
we are your business owners. You just opened Ink Poisoning, which those signs still stand on those buildings
Yeah. I know.
today. Let's keep going.
Yeah. So
No
we-
money. She owns your truck.
Yep. It's pretty much. She bought the business for us, so I'm paying her back. I'm buying my truck back for the second time. But we're doing good though. So, we get married, we're generating money, we're doing things, and things go a little weird there. We had some problems with the building. Dude, it was $400 a month in rent for that building.
Oh no way,
Dude, it like the PG&E, the rent, the gas, the water was like a tenth of the price of like the shop. You know what I mean?
Man.
It was so cheap, but it was so ghetto too. It was so ghetto. So I was like, you know what? Like, I'm tired. I had a couple dudes with me that were just too much. And I'm like, dude, it's great we're making money, but I also need to become more self-sufficient and generate the money with my own hands. And for two, I can't stand working around these dudes anymore. I would leave town and I would come home to things all the time. Just rails of cocaine that somebody forgot to do. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Like, I left you the key to this place, and you're
Yeah.
gonna do that? Like,
Yeah, I
get
think that
out.
makes-
And they wouldn't even clean up. There'd be beer bottles spilt, and it's just like, no, I'm done. So I closed that place down. I go to another spot called Axiom just for a brief moment. Worked there by myself. Had a couple guest artists come from all over California, and yeah, so what happened at that time? Nothing really special happened. That was actually a hard time. I was barely making it that shop. I had to pay all the rent myself. We just had 2 kids. And I was like, I'm done. I don't want to be a shop owner anymore. So I go work at this other shop in Rosedale, CJ's shop.
Okay.
So we go there. She had a fantastic team of people. Like, she had everything in the palm of her hands, and she just didn't even realize it. She was just so concerned about other things.
Yeah, you guys had a powerful team there for a second.
Dude, I'm talking about it was so perfect. So I'm there for maybe a year, and I can't take it anymore. I'm like, I hate the way you're running this place. I hate the way you treat these people. I hate how you treat me. I can't do it
Did that
anymore.
conversation come up, or was that just thoughts?
No, no, and maybe I should have, but I'm just not like that. Like, some things I feel like I shouldn't have to tell you about. Not only that, I had already been a shop owner a lot longer, and I had knowledge that she just didn't have yet. And I could tell that she wasn't going to accept, because the hardest part of it is being humble and letting the team run the shop, not you. If you go in there and try to run a team of anybody, it's never going to work. You have to find a way to be able to be the low man on the totem pole. You need to be the one that show up and clean every day. You need to say things that are encouraging instead of orders. It's hard. You actually really do have to bend over a lot backwards, sometimes more than you should have to keep a team like that together. And so I was done, and I just told him, like, I'm going to go work for my buddy for a second. I'm going to save up some money. Do you guys want to open a shop together? And they were like, get the doors open and we'll come over. And that's exactly what I did. And I calculated it to the T. And like, I think we opened the
That
place.
was Tom and Color.
Tom, Color, Lee, and Ox at the time.
Oh yeah.
And so we all go over there together, and I opened the place, and we worked 12, 18, 12, wait a minute, 18 12-hour days and opened on the 18th day.
Building the shop.
I'm talking about like no flooring in it at all. We went in, floored it, painted it, built walls, did everything, drywall, brand new electrical, sinks, plumbing, everything. I mean, I'm talking about like 2 months worth of work. We did it in 18 days, 12 18-hour days.
Was this a spot in Oildale, or is this a spot?
This is now in Rosedale.
This is the same.
Yeah,
okay.
this is where we're
The
at
current
now.
location.
Yeah, the current location. Yeah.
You want to
10
shout it
years.
out again right
Yeah,
now?
Society 9 Tattoo, Bakersfield, California.
Give the address.
9339 Rosedale Highway, Suite A. And we do everything: tattoos, piercings, eyebrows, tooth gems, tattoo removal, mesotherapy. You can look everything up on www.society9tattoo.com. Everything will be on there. You can get at us at Society9 Tattoo on Instagram as well. But yeah, open that place, had them come over. Things have been better every year. It's just awesome. Like,
What are you? What are 3 major accomplishments that you think that you have accomplished in your career as a artist?
the first.
Hey, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Look, relax. And where, like, what are 3 goals that you want to accomplish with that same art?
Okay. So one of the things right off the bat is never ever giving up or stopping. And that would probably be all 3 in one. Honestly, it's that important. I think the best thing I ever did for myself is just not stop doing it. The second thing I would say is getting out of your environment and going and working and learning in other people's environment. If you, as an artist, the best thing you can do is leave where you're at and go somewhere else and do what you do with other people that do what you do.
Surrounding yourself with the right people is important.
Surrounding yourself with people that you don't know and they don't know you or owe you anything. When you're around people that watched you come up, no matter what, all they ever say is that they're proud of you. And that's not always healthy. Sometimes people need to tell you what isn't healthy about you too.
Interesting.
And you're not going to find that in your environment a lot of times.
Do you have something in mind that you wish you were told?
Well, yeah, I mean, everything, really. If I would have known any of this sooner, it would have been a lot easier on me. But
go ahead, dude. His phone's ringing. We're going to take another little side hash or path or whatever.
Dude, my son would be another good.
Tell him to come
Like,
on.
with his sculpting and stuff, it'll blow your mind.
We can do a little show.
He would love
That's
that.
fine.
He would love that.
Tell him anytime you guys want to come.
He thinks this is the coolest thing in the world.
He's
But,
more than welcome to come on. Does he have a YouTube?
No.
He needs one.
Yeah, I know he does. He's such an awesome little dude. It's crazy. Man, he's going to blow me out of the water. It's
Really?
insane. Oh, man.
Does he paint? Does he
He
draw?
paints. He's sculpted since he spends about 8 hours a
With
day sculpting.
clay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, he can sculpt.
What's he
He can
make?
look at anything and make it. It's insane.
Tell him to make me
SpongeBob,
something for
just-
the table.
Oh, yeah, he will. And actually, today, he just got his first 3D printer.
Really?
I worked out a deal with my buddy. He's dying for a 3D printer. He's so into AutoCAD and, like,
Really?
architecture and
That's
stuff.
dope.
It's insane. Yeah. He's going to be sick. He travels with me. He's about to go with me to San Antonio to go paint with me for a week at a big show down there. So he's excited.
Are you starting with a blank canvas?
Yeah. I have it prepped.
Do you know what you are going to do?
Yeah. It's an AI image this time. Kind of like, I don't know if I posted that Egyptian one or not, but
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you posted it either, but I know what you're talking about.
man, and I hate it because there's no creativity. It was so hard for me to do that because it's not my art. I gave up on that thing so many times. And it's just not my art, but it's also kind of cruise control and I can get it done kind of fast. So yeah,
Yeah.
there we go right there. Yeah. But yeah, so we have a big canvas printed, and I'm actually going to be painting with a painter that's like way better and what more
Oh,
well
you're painting
known
with
than me.
somebody else, really?
Yeah,
On the
I don't
same
know how to
canvas or
pronounce
no?
his name. I think it's Three Back, maybe. 3BAK. Oh yeah, if you could pull him up in here, that'd be sick. But so they're giving me a free booth if I paint at these shows. As long as I'm not making money, they allow me to come for free and paint, and they give me a booth. So I wrote him, and there he is right here. Yeah. Oh, so 3back_art. So I just wrote him out of the blue. I don't even know him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, dude, his stuff is amazing. Like, he is an absolute amazing painter. So
Wow.
he's actually going to go down there with us. He's going to paint with us, and we're just going to paint in San Antonio. I rented a famous Airbnb
Dude, that's going to
called
be
the Aubrey.
so
Oh, dude,
fun.
it's going to be so sick,
Oh, man.
And coincidentally, um, my uncle that was the SEAL, his grandson is going to be there joining the Air Force. And my cousin's son, who's in the Air Force, is going to be there. So we're actually all going to
Oh,
meet up.
really?
Yeah, it's going to be so cool. My son doesn't even
Nice.
know all of this.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah. I got a whole road trip plan. We're going to go to Carlsbad Caverns on the way home, maybe Roswell, and he just doesn't know anything.
Badass,
So,
dude.
yeah, he's going to be so stoked. But, yeah, it's crazy watching him come up. It just makes me want to just be a good example, I guess, really. He looks up to me so much. Like, everything I do, he just thinks it's the coolest thing in the world. And it makes me feel bad at some sense, but also at the same time, it's like,
Why does it make you feel bad?
just because I want him to be better, you know? Like, I would hope that he just didn't follow in my footsteps, but he's so good at what he does. It just kind of seems like he probably will, and he'll probably do way better than I ever did at it.
Do you think that I asked you earlier, do you regret like those certain situations that you put yourself in to become the person you are? And you said no.
Yeah, I
So hold on. Slow down, homeboy. I'm not done.
don't.
As as your friend, I know that you probably have like a very protective attitude about your kids. And you're going to teach them what you think that they shouldn't have to go through, but um are you afraid of him having to go through those same situations? Are you prepared to watch him go through those situations to become his own person?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I wish I didn't go through those things, but I wouldn't want to lose the knowledge that I gained from it. But I also don't think I would have went through those things had I grown up in a healthy family with parents that were together. I think if my dad was still alive, he would have embraced what I was doing a little bit more, and I would have had some help. And that's what I'm trying to do there with him. But also at the same time,
So
I-
you can avoid that whole road by just being a good dad.
yeah. But then is that going to affect him that he doesn't
But
learn
but
those
but
things?
the thing is will he ever even know?
Yeah, exactly.
He would
Yeah,
never even
true.
know. He would
Very
never
true.
have to suffer. He will never have to see it if you
Yeah.
just do it. If you choose that other different route.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
Interesting.
Yeah, and who knows? Like, I think about those things every day. Like, should he go through it or should he not? Like, you know, and I don't believe he does. I should.
He probably shouldn't because
No.
that was just the environment that we were surrounded
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
So we had to find a ways to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
What we know now, though, and the way that the world is, like we have a choice to like maybe guide them in a better direction to where that stuff doesn't even exist. They never have to see violence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. And hopefully that is the case. And that's exactly why I say he's probably going to be so good because he's never known, like, his entire breath ever. From his first breath, there's paintings being worked on, you know, melt art is everywhere. He knows melt. Like, we drive down the street and he sees the smiley face and he's like, there's melt. I mean,
Yeah.
he's so deeply ingrained in the art culture here in Bakersfield. Like Ox, you know, I think Ox is one of the greatest artists that's ever lived in this world. Granted, he's, you know, in a bad place, but he is so good, and he comes over just to bring little brother stuff, you know, like, of all the people that he knows, he comes occasionally and gives brother these things because he's like, dude, one day you're going to be amazing. And I believe he will. and being able to grow up. Like, dude, this dude
That
kicks
was
it.
him that I saw at the shop not the last time, right? He was there. He
The
was
real big
visiting.
guy.
Yeah.
He's like real out there.
Just grungy. He gave me that sticker.
Yeah, the Donald Trump one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him. The greatest human being I've ever
Yeah.
known in my life. He's actually, I believe, he's really, truly a genius.
I remember him from your old shop.
Yeah, best artist I've ever known in my life. We went through a long DMT phase together.
You
and
want to talk about that?
We can a little, but it's a long story. To condense it down in a couple of seconds.
We don't have to condense it. It's 7:35.
Yeah.
I had anticipated you being here till like 9. So
Yeah.
what?
yeah.
As long as you want to take, if you're
Yeah.
ready to wrap up round 1, we can do that.
No,
Whatever
I'm
you
good.
want to do, man.
I think it would just be better. Like, I'll get into it a little bit, but it would be a really good podcast just to go in detail about just those DMT experiences.
Do you think that DMT had anything to do with your art?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Psychedelics did in general.
Where did your psychedelics start?
So this is actually probably the best part of the story. So I start drawing a little more. I start withdrawing from the street stuff.
How old were you?
This is 06, so I'm 20 still. So right at the end of being 20, my dad's starting to get real sick.
Right when you met Anika?
No, this is still a little bit before I met Anika.
Okay.
This is when I got my first apprenticeship. So that was probably the year or two before I met Anika.
Who'd you apprentice with?
I apprenticed with a man named Reverend Jimmy
Oh, okay.
Van Kuren.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. So he saved my life. He literally got me off the streets, and he was actually a president of a bike club that I can't say, and that's how I got that first shop. Like, they ended up, there was someone who had passed away there, and they had left, and I let things cool down a little, and I got that shop. I ended up just saying, fuck it, I'm going to go back into that building and build it my way. So anyways, we do all that. And then, yeah, later in the future, we have the kids and Ox is around a lot. That's when I started my heavy DMT journeys and stuff. I'd say a year before that was the first time I'd ever really smoked, I think.
Smoked weed?
Yeah, smoked weed, yeah.
And you jumped right into DMT afterwards.
Yeah, I did. So my dad died right on my 21st
Have you ever done
birthday.
any drugs before then?
No, never.
You've never done meth, coke,
no.
nothing. And
No.
you went from
God,
weed
no.
to DMT. From
No.
From training wheels to a fucking fighter jet.
Well,
is what you did.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, honestly, I don't look at DMT as the fighter jet. Actually, my first drug besides weed was mushrooms, and that's what I would say is the fighter
You did
jet.
mushrooms before you did weed?
About the same time.
Really?
Yeah, so my dad died on my 21st birthday,
And you just
and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to try it. I don't
Damn.
care. And so I smoked for about a month, and then my buddy presented me with an eighth of shrooms. And he
you're
was
living
like,
with Derek.
no, so this I just moved out.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a whole story there. I don't really want to get into
don't
the
have
end
to.
of that because I was with somebody at the time.
Okay.
Every time I would leave town, I was hearing that things were going on. I'm sitting there watching my dad die, and
Yeah.
people are texting me talking about her car's here, her car's that. So
Okay.
I don't even want to get into all that. So
If you want to, we can.
No,
we
I
don't
don't.
have to.
I don't, and it's not even that important.
But so what I'm trying to get at is where were you living? Where were
Yes.
you at in your?
I was at Darrett's.
Okay.
And then all of this was going on, and I had already told myself I got to save some money when my dad passes, and I know it's going to be soon. I'm gone. I'm going to disappear.
You
like a
knew he
ghost.
was going.
I knew he was going to die.
Damn it!
I knew he was going to die. He died on my 21st birthday.
Did you guys have conversations about that before he did?
No, but I truly believe that he died more of like sadness and neglect, and I just seen a real extreme of it at the end where he just literally did not care. He wouldn't show up to dialysis.
He would just
anymore.
rather go.
He's just done. He would just sit in his trailer and smoke cigarettes, and that's actually a crazy story too. Like, weirdly, he was actually killed, and everything that he owned was taken away from him. And it's a super long story that I can't really get into, but
We have time. Whatever you want to talk about.
yeah, it's
Wherever you wanna
it's a
go.
long one. It's really not that important, I don't think, to get into it, but I had made up my mind at that point, like I was done with all of this, and I left, and this guy took me in and moved me in the apartment behind the building, and I basically was like a yes sir. I couldn't tattoo during the day, and this dude was strict. He told me if you miss any days, like, I will kick you to the
You're
streets.
talking about Reverend Jimmy.
Yeah, and I will keep your shit. And it was just tough love there. There's like that biker love. And I took it serious. I don't think I ever fucked up. I was so scared. I would show up and clean that place from top to bottom, and I would be right there all day long, ready to be at service. And then when he left at night, I could tattoo. And that's when I was just like, man, my life's going to change. Like, this is crazy. I had to do that for a couple years.
He would let you tattoo after he left.
Yeah, so I was
That's
basically
so
the
weird
shop
because I think
bitch.
that's like kind of opposite of now. Like you would want to be there when your little guys.
That wasn't my
tattoo.
job, though. My job was to make sure that the tattooers never had to do anything at all except tattoo.
You just cleaned everything.
Yeah, and I just that was my job.
Scrub
I
and
was a
brush it.
bellboy, and that's like that's still kind of giving it more than what I really had. But these two people moved from Detroit, Mandy and Meatloaf, and dude, they really cared about me and they treated me so well and they taught me so much. So during this time, I would just watch this girl tattoo, and she was fantastic. I learned so much. Like, even though I was his apprentice, he didn't teach me really much, but
He just gave you the drive to do it.
he just gave me the best opportunity that I ever have in my life. Like, it was the best. So he gets sick after a couple of years of being there and can't come to the shop anymore. And I go from making like $400 a month to making like $3,000 or $4,000 a week. And he was gone, and I would just I would literally work in his booth, and people would come in 6, 7, 8 people a day and just get little $100 tattoo, $150 tattoo, and I'd just drop it in this safe, drop all the money in this safe. And at the end of the month, we'd go through this safe. There'd be $30,000, $40,000 in there from the collection of people, and we'd break everybody off with their cuts and go drop his stuff through his mail slot. And he was gone for 8 months, and it literally,
He was sick.
he had hepatitis C.
I don't know anything about
They
that.
were just into some wild stuff. Yeah. So he had hepatitis C and he had to go for interferon treatment.
He better now.
He is better now, believe it or not. His dad is still alive. He's alive. His son's alive. His son's alive.
He's still tattooing.
Yeah.
You still talk to him.
I do. Yeah.
Cool.
He comes and sees me when he comes to town. He's in Austin, Texas somewhere. I'm
Oh
not
hell
100%
yeah,
sure.
dude! That's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to get.
Yeah. Just still living on the Harley, single man with a leather jacket. dude,
Really?
just smoking cigarettes.
Crazy.
So, fun fact, I believe that Dwight Yoakam and Buck Owens filmed The Streets of Bakersfield at his shop, All American Tattoo Studio, is the first place in Bakersfield, I believe. So, he was kind of famous in a weird local way.
It's weird. I think we should embrace more local stuff. I think that we have this stigma that we're from Oildale, we're from Bakersfield. We automatically hate it.
Yeah.
But like I've said this already on this podcast, but is there anywhere else that you can go snowboard, ski, and then hit a race and then a bar all in the same day?
No.
Like you could do whatever you want. You can go surf and snowboard in the same day. It's freaking insane.
Yeah, no.
We live in a weird place.
I think Bakersfield, and it's weird, like, no matter how far I've gone, I've never went on a trip where people didn't know about Bakersfield. I was in Puerto Rico one time. This guy picked me up and asked where I was from. I told him Bakersfield. He's like, my cousin lives there. I was like, how is that even possible? It happens every single trip. I think Bakersfield's the greatest place on earth. I really,
It's an
truly
awesome
have never
place.
been anywhere that
It
I love
just
more than
sucks
this
that
place.
it's changing. Like it's like getting nobody from Bakersfield owns any of Bakersfield.
Yeah.
Everybody from everywhere else owns it. And
Yeah.
it just sucks.
Yeah, it's just a new world we're living in, man. I think people just caught wind of what a cheap, awesome place this is to live, and it actually doesn't have a good rap. Like, I've never heard anybody say anything
Oh,
good
no,
about
everybody
Bakersfield.
hates
It has a
Bakersfield.
terrible.
Shane Gillis is famous for saying,
Oh,
like,
yeah. Yeah.
it was my worst show ever. Bunch of oil rig guys. And
Yeah.
we're like, dude, no, that's not us.
I know, and it's sad because
they're the only ones that have money to go to your show, dude.
Exactly,
We're just
exactly.
broke guys. Come talk to the freaking poor guys.
Exactly.
Gosh,
yeah,
damn.
I know, and it's sad that's. And it is like that, if you were an outsider coming to Bakersfield, you're gonna be like, dude, this is like the cowboy days still, It's the Wild West, but I
Yeah,
don't
it's
care. I love this
scary.
place. The more I travel, the more I realize, especially during COVID, that's when I really realized what a special place this was. Dude, nobody cared what anybody was doing. Nobody told anybody what they should be doing or not doing. Of course, hospitals, things like that, but for the most part, this place is amazing. Even in Texas, I had more problems with mask stuff or people telling you things or this or
Really?
that. Yeah, I never had that issue one time.
Mask stuff?
Yeah, some places,
Dude,
places
I
you
still
couldn't
see
even go.
people riding around like nobody in the car wearing a mask. I'm like, dude, what the hell?
Damn.
That's got to be the worst fear. It's so sad.
Yeah.
They're probably scared to. Oh man, whatever. Anyways,
Yeah, Yeah, it's just sad. They probably haven't lived life really at all, ever. They're gonna live their whole life and never live life.
I've only been one other place. I've only been to Colorado from here. I haven't really
Yeah.
been anywhere,
Fuck,
but
man. Shout out to Denver,
well,
boy.
dude, it's so
D-
I don't
Fuck,
know.
man. Denver's sick, man. I love it.
It was cool, but nobody talks to you out there. Everybody's got their
No.
headphones in.
Yeah, no, it's
they're
weird. It's
just
like the Portland of Colorado. I would never live there, but there is something about Denver. Like
it's
the
nice.
first time I
It's
went, I hated
pretty.
it. The second time, I was like, all right, this shit's cool. And then my wife and I went, and I was like, dude, this is epic. Like, this was so fun.
You
But
guys play with that little river that goes through there?
yeah, it's sick. It's sick. And we road trip too one time. Me and my daughter, when she was 12, I think we road trip there in a 30-foot RV. It was like one of my favorite experiences ever.
All right, tell me. I told you 3, but let's go ahead and just hear a goal for your future. What is something that you see in your future that you
Oh,
you
man.
want that you just gotta have?
Um, I have everything I feel like I need. But I would like to take my career further. I do have some things in the work. Um,
What do you mean like take it further? I mean, I see you kind of living your life pretty much the way you want to do. Like you do things that
yeah,
most grown men wish they could do, but
yeah,
like
yeah.
so like what exactly does that mean?
Well, I would like to leave the country. I've never left the country aside
Okay.
from Puerto
To
Rico, which
tattoo?
is yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Next year will be the year. We have 2 out of the countries booked for sure next year. We might have 3. So I definitely want to do that. But I also am looking to build a relationship with my buddy in Puerto Rico a little bit more. Puerto Rico is a very special place to us. My buddy has a really, really good thing going on out there, and I just kind of really want to go out there and be a part of it. One of our other friends, Flip Shades, world famous tattooer. You can find him on Instagram. I'm sure everybody already knows who he is, but he just moved out there. He's working for Ramon as well at Body Art Gallery. And I want to get out there. I think next year I'm going to try to go quarterly. Might even look into buying some property that I can Airbnb or
Oh,
something
dude,
out
that'd be
there.
badass.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's probably cheap too.
It's not as cheap as you would think. Puerto Rico is actually an expensive place, but for
But
things
can't
like
you write
that,
it off for
yeah.
like where your work?
Well, you can, but I think you'd be able to make money on something like an Airbnb. It's very touristy. Puerto Rico's starting to get really popular again, especially with Bad Bunny and all these guys that are just drawing, hundreds of thousands of people a year down there.
Isn't that who Tony Hinchcliffe just threw under the bus? Aren't they like burning with trash or something?
I don't know, dude. I don't have any idea. But
I don't
just,
know either.
dude, there's something about Puerto Rico that's just, it's called the Island of Enchantment, and it truly, really is. Like, there's something just nasty about it, but at the same time, you're like, God damn, I love this place. It's like Vegas in the Caribbean, kind of. Like, it's
Vegas scares the shit out of me, dude.
Man,
There's
I love
the
Vegas.
first time I was in Vegas, I was sitting on Fremont. Me and Tom went, okay, and we went for punk rock bowling. So there's just like shows. I think Slapshot was playing on the top floor, and we're just sitting on the stairs. And then I don't know if this was real or not. I feel like it was fake, but all of a sudden, this dude with a white shirt comes running up, and he tries to run into the Heart Attack
Oh, that burger spot
restaurant. Yeah,
where they kill you.
Yeah, where you like if you weigh over 300 pounds, you eat free or some
You're a
shit.
king or
Yeah, I
something.
don't know.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
The guy tries to run in there, and like 5, I swear to God, this is not a lie, dude. Asian dudes in suits run up and start beating the freaking shit out of this guy. They pick the dude up, grab him by his like shirt and his neck, and just walk him off. I don't know what the hell happened, but I feel like it was like a movie scene. I don't know if it was real or not, but that like Vegas scares the crap out of me, dude.
Think about how many bodies are probably buried in the surrounding desert just in Vegas' whole life. Remember when Lake Mead started to go empty and they started finding people in barrels?
In barrels,
Just
dude.
imagine, dude.
I hear 90% of every murder or homicide in Mexico goes just unsolved. 90%
In Mexico?
in Mexico.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
That is
I don't
so
think they look that
crazy.
well either. I think that they are too scared to. It's probably best that you just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that place definitely scares me.
Yeah.
Vegas is sick though. Like I worked in Vegas for a while for Club Tattoo, and I was going over there pretty frequently. And if you're not doing the trendy touristy stuff, Vegas is epic.
It's about it could either go really good for you or really bad. You just
Yeah.
gotta like kind of.
If you're on Fremont Street, you're screwed. Like, I don't know why you're even there.
I liked it. It was fun for me, but it was just wild to see. Like I didn't think that was crazy. I didn't. You hear stories like, oh yeah, Vegas is
Oh.
crazy, but like actually seeing like, oh no, there's Asian dudes in suits. Like that's a real thing out here. Like
Yeah.
I'm out of here. Like,
Every day.
It's crazy.
Every day. Wild. Yeah, I love that place. That's like dude, and I hate it too because like of all the places the kids have gone, if I went home right now and was like, pick any city, we're going. And I do this sometimes. I'm like, where do you guys want to go? You get to pick. It's always Vegas.
Really?
They don't want to do anything. They want to go to Area 15 now that it's open. But before that,
What is that?
it's like a crazy psychedelic spot, dude. If you guys don't know about Area 15, you have to look it
I have
up.
no idea what
Oh,
that is.
dude, it is absolutely crazy. It's a art installment by Meow Wolf, and it's absolutely epic.
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think they have a couple across the U.S. Meow Wolf is like a art installment, and you go in there and it's like psychedelic, and they have these crazy shows. The kids love it. But before that, all they'd want to do is just go. They thought room service was the coolest thing in the world. They think that it's so cool that you can just call and get a cheeseburger to the room. So we'd go over there and get this cheap ass room, get room service, take them to a fancy dinner, and they'd just be cool with it. It's epic, dude. If you were to accidentally eat some mushrooms before you went in there, it would just.
How many times have you guys been in there?
We go every time, and actually, even when my wife and I go, we go into the bar right there, because you can get into all of this for free. You can't get into Omega Mart for free, but you go into this and you can just drink at these.
What's in Omega Mart?
It's look that up real fast. That's what you'll want, dude. You go over to like say you want to buy a Coca-Cola. You go over and you pull the Coca-Cola door open, and it's frozen and freezing in there, but it's a hallway into like a spaceship that's flying through space.
What?
It's epic. It's epic. Yeah. So like under that pile of fruit, there's like a crawl space or a slide or some weird stuff, and you just can go down in it, and you end up inside this spaceship. There's like 4 different entrances. Oh yeah, and then you're inside of like that. It's like all Alex Gray art and stuff. It's
Really?
oh, there's the thing right here. So you open the Coke thing and you walk through this, yeah, and see how the bottles get
Yeah.
all stretched out and weird.
Yeah.
It's cool, but you can really buy this stuff. Like it's a real store.
So you could buy any of those bottles?
I don't know if you can buy those ones because they're all like behind glass, but like a lot of the stuff you can grab off the shelf and buy.
Crazy.
Otherwise, you go in there and you go inside there and you're inside of a spaceship that's just like psychedelic, and you can pick up phones and like talk to people other
Really?
places. Yeah, it's amazing. So that's their favorite thing to do now. We do that.
You heard anything about this? Was it 3i Atlas?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Crazy. I don't know. Well, so last year they had Oumuamua.
Yeah.
That asteroid that came
Uh-huh.
through, and then what tripped them out is that it sped up when it left, and it was on
Yeah.
a different trajectory
Uh-huh.
than what they thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
and
was
so
also flipping.
it was
like crazy,
tumbling.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, so this one isn't.
No.
3i Atlas
This
isn't. Doesn't
this
have a
thing's
coma,
jamming.
and it's smashing through
There's
space.
water on it. There's all kinds of
And
stuff
it's
on
speeding up, which is bizarre. Like it's speeding up in open
it.
space.
So we just looked at this. Me and Rudy just looked at this.
And it's going to be on the opposite side of the sun, like October 25th or something like this.
So the trajectory is straight for Mars, dude. If you look at it, it's like going straight for Mars.
Yeah.
And they're saying like it's going so much speed, and it's like the Earth is supposed to suck it away. But if you actually,
It's not though.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you look at it,
And it's coming in retrograde, supposedly. So it's coming in against the spin of the planet, supposedly, and still speeding up and staying on point.
bro, it's literally on track to hit
Yeah.
Mars. Like Mars is gonna literally wrap around at the same time. I don't know if it's gonna hit it. I don't know, but it's pretty interesting. Pretty
It's
exciting.
wild. The second thing to come from outside of our solar system, it's amazing. The crazy thing is, and I'm not a scientist, so I don't know this, but I would imagine that since we're going to be on the other side of the sun at that time, couldn't you just launch a satellite and have it wait here until it comes by to see what the hell's going on. I would imagine that they're probably ahead of the game in doing that, but
Or even just watching. Like, yeah, let launch a satellite. Just sit there and like
see
film it
what the hell's
hitting.
going
Yeah,
on. How's
I
it
don't know
even
what the
speeding
hell.
up though? That's the crazy thing. That Harvard scientist is saying that it has propulsion, and it's moving faster than anything we've seen or supposedly, but
That,
who
that
knows?
dude's freaking out. He was scared about the Oumuamua. Like
Yeah,
he.
yeah,
But this one, he's like, oh hey, you guys, like, this
yeah,
isn't a joke. Like,
yeah. Like they first thought it might hit us because it's coming so close, but
if
and
you're,
who knows though, man? Like a lot of these people use this fear tactic, and everybody has a different story about it, and I don't know. Who knows? Maybe a distraction. I try not to even look and listen to too
oh
much of
yeah, I
this.
didn't even think about the distraction tactic. We're
We
right
got
in the
so
middle of a
much going
war.
on, dude. Yeah, like I hope it doesn't, but we might be due for a good
Reset.
smack, dude. Like I don't know. I don't know. I hope not, I mean, I really hate to say that, but Jesus Christ, man. It's
Yeah,
bad
he's the
right
only
now.
one that's gonna save us, bro. We're in trouble.
I think it's big though. Like I think it would be a done deal if it hit. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's like
If it
big.
hit us,
Yeah, I
oh
think
yeah,
it would
we're
be
done.
yeah,
We're done
like
for
a
sure.
global buster.
What I'm thinking, I don't. They keep posting it like it's supposed to suck around Mars before, but like it's literally
Yeah,
gonna meet at the same time, and so like it's going faster than anything we know.
exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how do they know? I mean, maybe they do have the math to say it's only gonna curve that much, but at
I
that
don't
speed,
yeah, I don't think they
I
can
don't think.
analyze that
I don't know. Like
correctly.
it seems like it's just gonna keep going straight. I don't know if our gravity's that strong, but
I
we'll
don't yeah,
see.
well, if it's going that fast, then maybe not. But Oumuamua, I can't remember what it did, but it changed trajectory altogether. Like it went off in one direction, and I think when they looked again, it had
It like spiked
changed and it
over. I
was
saw that.
speeding up
Yeah,
faster. So then they were just like, "What the hell? Like
yeah. I
this
just heard
is
that.
insane." Yeah, who knows? But there's life out there. There just can't
There
not
has
be.
to be.
There can't not be. It's impossible. I don't
Well,
believe that it's like I don't know. Like I think they're probably here. Like I think a lot of what people see probably is more US government than they would realize. But I definitely think there's stuff here with us. I think almost everything that we know about as far as UFOs is probably more the US government than
I'm
anything else.
convinced that like grasshoppers and my cat are aliens, bro.
It
Like,
might be, dude. Who
I'm
knows,
convinced.
man?
The
Ever
way
since
they,
Men in Black.
I feel like they talk to me. I'm like, no, I don't need to feed you. There's stuff in there already. Like, but they're like, no, I need food. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe, man. Maybe we're them. What that'd be a trip. Well, like what if they come here and they hop out and they're just like us and they're just like, "What's up?"
And
Drinking
we've just been hanging out with them the whole time.
they just hop out with a 40. That'd be sick, dude. Mercedes logo on their spaceship or some crazy
Around their
shit.
neck, like a big
Yeah,
chain.
they have chains and shit and gold teeth. That would be epic, dude. 3 tits maybe? I don't know.
4 tits, bro.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, double
Uh-huh.
shelfers.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
You just lay in there like a
That'd be
big pillow.
sick, dude. Yeah. Just
It's fun
invite
stuff.
everybody over for dinner. I gotta use the restroom real fast.
All right.
Cool.
Let's
Take
go.
a little quick break.
60 seconds on the clock. Here we go. One more break. I'd like to thank all you guys for not thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe and like because it really helps my algorithm with all the stuff that you guys listen to. Um, if you want to come on the show, please email relaxbropodcast@gmail.com, or find me on Instagram. Okay, we're gonna dig back into this.
But yeah, so dude, I love all the space stuff. We were just talking about 3i Atlas before we came over here. I
Who?
love that.
You and who?
Me and Jeremiah at the shop. He's like, he doesn't have a lot of knowledge of like the stuff, and he knows I read a lot.
I
of
bring it up
books and-
every day to Rudy.
Yeah.
She's sick and tired of me talking about it.
Dude, people don't want to hear it. People don't give. You start talking space and like stuff like that to people, and they just look at you like you're straight crazy. And then they don't say anything when there's somebody nodding out on fentanyl in the corner. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're just like, "Oh, that ain't weird. That's just life." But if you talk about fucking this asteroid again, then you're weird. And I'm
It's
like,
wild how the homeless has switched from like being homeless to just being drug addicts. Like it used to be like homeless people were just like struggling.
Yeah.
Now it's just like just dudes high.
Yeah. I love that you said that too, because that's exactly what this is. Like, quit calling it what it isn't.
Hold on, I'm gonna turn the AC on. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it's not there's no homelessness problem out there in my
So,
eyes.
yeah,
It's
so it was like
a drug
created
problem.
though, almost like it wasn't like because there's jobs, but
Yeah.
as long as you're on nod.
Yeah. But they make it so easy to live off the system now, and it's just wrong. It's just wrong. There's people out here working hard, paying so much taxes that can barely
Dude.
live, and then these people get to live for free. It ain't fair. I mean, why wouldn't you have to drug test then? You know, like what? Okay, if you're gonna get state assistance, then you should drug test. You should be clean. You can't live on the streets.
I'd suck a dick for health insurance.
Yeah, dude, a lot of people would. You know what I mean? A lot of people would. That's crazy, especially veterans. Like, look what's happening to these people.
I know.
Dude, watching my dad die in that hospital in a hallway, like, I mean,
I was just talking about
dude,
that.
it's ridiculous. Like, they don't give a frick. They don't care. They're just there for work. They're living shit lives, not getting paid enough either. They don't care about those people. And LA is littered with Vietnam War veterans and injured veterans. It's sad. And people can just live for free and get like,
I know.
I have
it's
you know,
wild.
I mean, I'm not going to say it. I have a family member like that, and it's like ridiculous. Like, I almost hate them. And they just they have no, that's what it is. Like, wherever I can go for free. I'm like, dude, just get it over with already and do everybody else a favor.
How do we fix it?
Well, I mean, if you're going to get state assistance, you should have to be able to pass drug tests. I mean, fuck, you don't have the luxury of smoking and doing all this stuff. Like, if you can't go to work, I think that that's something that's earned. Like, if you can go to work and maintain a job and you want to come home and drink and smoke on the weekends and you can still go to work on Monday and provide for yourself and pay your fair share, then so be it. But if not, you shouldn't be able to do any of
It's a
that.
very good start because us hardworking guys aren't allowed to do that.
Yeah, dude. And like, you know, cops and people can smoke now, but I mean, dude, like, how are you going to tell these people what they can and can't do on Saturday and Sunday when they're not even at work? That ain't right. Like, give that to the people if that's what they want to do to relax, but it should be something that's earned, you know? And these people are just, you know, well, California is just a lot worse than a lot of other places, but yeah, a lot of this shit shouldn't be legal at all. They should be doing something, picking these people up and forcing them to get clean or something, or just do something about all the fentanyl coming into the country. I don't know. I'm not.
It
that
seems like
smart,
Trump's doing that. He blew that little boat up with a straight up missile.
Yeah.
He's doing
Yeah.
something. You know what? Let's watch that. Let's watch that
He's-
video.
He's a wild one.
I
I try not to like
Man.
watch politics, dude. I feel like it's so
feel bad for all the people who
corrosive.
voted for him and like because like I mean he's better off than everybody else, but like
Yeah.
Is this what you guys wanted? Like, your taco guy's gone now. Like,
But that's always what it comes down to, is like the least of two evils. And then like if you voted for him or them or whatever, then you're the enemy to the other person. And it's just sad. It's just all part of the same problem. It's just humans in the United States have grown so ungrateful and just uncaring of one another. Oh yeah, he shot those.
I don't want to give any of these news people.
Yeah. Yeah, he got him though, but you
There we
know.
go.
The
This is-
United States has
Oh,
conducted
see,
a
it's
deadly
kinda
military.
just- I don't want to hear any of these ladies talk. I don't want to give them any credit, but yeah, that dude freaking destroyed that boat.
Yeah.
This is Democracy
And,
Now!
you know,
Democracy Now!
Hopefully
The New York Times reported on satellite they gave the execution order and no bodies have been found. I mean,
It doesn't
really,
even
in many
look like
ways,
there's
it's
even any
bringing the
drugs on
logic
there.
of Gaza into the Caribbean in terms of
That's not even one of those boats. That's
unaccountability,
just like some dudes he
impunity,
knew.
and
That's
and
probably
an
Obama's
expansive
freaking
notion of
And
Cook.
dude, look at that shit. That don't even look like a regular bomb. That looks like a straight
of
phosphorus,
national
like,
defense to
magnesium
justify.
explosion or
I
something.
mean, really, in many ways, it's bringing the logic of Gaza into the Caribbean in terms of unaccountability, impunity, and an expansive
it
notion of national
started on the
defense.
boat.
Yeah,
Huh.
exactly.
Like it didn't
Yeah.
even like the
it
boat
wasn't
just
even a
blew
missile.
up.
Yeah. Yeah, and who knows what they got to mess with
Ah,
these days.
interesting.
But the sad thing is, dude, is maybe they did deserve that, but you know, those people have daughters and sons at home that are never, you know.
I know, dude. I have a violent past, but I'm a firm believer that there's no reason for violence in this world. There's no reason for it.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe in like, you know, I think that if people went out and beat the shit out of people who hurt little kids, I think little kids would get hurt less. I actually love those dudes that set the predators up and then bust them. I think that's what we need. Like, should you beat them up? Maybe not. I don't know. I think just catch them and put them on blast is good too. But people like that, like, I think that that's why we're where we are, is nobody does anything about anything anymore. Like the justice system don't do shit. I mean, we grew up with, what's his name? He stabbed his mother 35 times. You know that he's up in
We're gonna
Fresno?
say his name, Parker Chamberlain.
Yeah.
We're gonna say his name because Mrs. Knapp was a very good
Yeah, she was our
lady.
teacher.
Yeah.
He killed his mom, stabbed her 30-something times, and then came back hours later and stabbed her after she was dead.
With a
He's
butter
out
knife.
right now in Fresno teaching kids how to rehabilitate.
Yeah.
He's out of prison
I know.
teaching other people's kids how to rehabilitate. Like, that's the world we live in. That's crazy. You know? That's crazy. And watch this stuff with Thomas Pinkerton. Watch
dude.
that get brushed under the rug too,
No,
because it's
I have
churches. and
no. It
shit.
ain't gonna go anywhere because there's no way I'm not that one go. That dude had me convinced that he was like a father figure to me. He had me convinced that he loved me as a son.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. And then he's been doing that this whole time to so many people. That's insane, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Sad. It's sad that like that should even, well, if my dog got out and it ran across the street and bit a kid, they're gonna come and put my dog to sleep. So,
Not only that, but give you a fat ass fine, probably.
and I'm gonna get in trouble for it too, and it wasn't even my fault. Exactly. So when somebody does something like that to a kid too, like, I don't know if I'm the one that should be deciding what happens to other people's souls and stuff like that, but I definitely don't think that they should be alive. I don't think so.
You don't think being alive in those situations is better than being gone in a place where you're free of all these laws and this? I don't think so. I think the death penalty is dumb. I think these people should have to live in misery for the rest of their lives.
Maybe, but I think that when you die, things are sorted out by a higher source.
Ah,
And
that's
I think
good.
just send them there and get it over with. Because then what? We're gonna have to pay taxes for those stupid fucks to live
Yeah,
in
no
a
shit,
cage,
dude.
and maybe get out and hurt someone else's kid. Nah, hell no. I would sacrifice my life if anybody did that to my kids. No matter what the consequence was, I would make sure to make an example of you if you ever did that to my kids. I think they should just be gone. I think it'll get sorted out. I believe that. I've tried DMT several times in my life, and I was never a religious person, but I think that I would absolutely guarantee you that something amazing happens when we die. Well, to people who deserve it, I think.
I have this theory that I've been talking about. um, what if we're so far advanced that we're just bored, right? And we're just cruising through space, and we found all of our homies, and we're on this big spaceship, like that big ass one, Atlas or whatever. So me, you, Dare, all these people that we talk about, these people that we know, all these people that we meet, everybody that's on this earth, we're on that spaceship, and we're like, hey, there's a pizza spot right there. Let's stop and go to this pizza spot. And then we go to this pizza spot, and there's this game. You put on this headset, and they're like, okay, it's an 80-year, 90-year game. You're going to be in here for a while. And you're like, well, I'm bored as shit. I've been living forever. I have an eternity for the rest of my life. I'm going to play this game.
Yeah.
We go into this game, and we play it, and we have these blinks of like deja vu where we're like, what I've been here before. And you're like, am I playing this game over and over again? Is this like the third time that I've been stuck in this game? And why can't I just leave this pizza place? Like, what the hell are we doing? Like, why do we keep resetting? I mean, I don't know that that's everybody's feelings, but that's kind of how I feel sometimes. Is like, why do I keep resetting into this position where I'm like, I have this memory of being here before, but why can't I break out of that level? Why can't I level up?
Yeah. There's a reason, though. There is some reason. I don't know what it is, but I definitely believe that we're here for something. Maybe we do have to live thousands of lifetimes to learn what we learn. I don't really think we're that advanced. I actually think quite the opposite. I think that we are way unworthy of the technology that we have right now. I think that we just somehow got it way sooner than we should have.
Really?
Yeah. I believe that we should have handled like world peace and stuff like that.
It's
long
crazy that
before
why
atom
aren't we in
bombs.
a solid Earth, just like everybody working
Yeah.
together as a team? Like,
Yeah.
why is there different states? Why is there different voting even in states? It's crazy. Like, we should be like voting for like,
Yeah.
are we gonna stop?
The only reason they would keep it divided like that at all is because whoever it is up to no good.
Well, and not only that, but because there is something else, right?
yeah,
There's
sure.
That's like the most proof ever is the fact that they keep trying to hide it.
Yeah. Yeah, they are, but I think people are waking up. Especially with the psychedelic drug movement too. I think that people are starting to realize that life is definitely beyond what we think it is.
Why do you think psychedelics are so important?
Because it just gets us out of the reality that we live in. You know, like The Matrix was one of my favorite movies in the world, and still every time I watch it, I realize like what an evolving concept that movie is. I think that even the most powerful people don't realize like how special we are. And
Sorry, I'm just making sure we're still
no,
recording.
yeah, you're good. But no, there's something going on much higher than what we can even fathom, for sure. Yeah, I think you can eat mushrooms one time and know that.
I tried it one time and it changed my life.
Yeah, it
for
scared
sure.
the shit out of me. It was like hard on me. I didn't even like who I was when I did it. I was so disappointed with what I'd been doing with myself.
It made me see myself for like what I think other people might see me as. Yeah. And I was just like, oh no, I don't want to be that person.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's rough. It's hard on you. But it's good though too, you know? It's like getting whooped as a kid. Like, yeah, it doesn't.
Have you heard that about Ibogaine? You ever
Yeah.
heard about
Mhm.
Ibogaine?
Yeah.
Would
I
you do
bel-
that?
Yeah, I would definitely do that.
Really?
I believe that that's from the continent of Africa, and I believe it comes from the same bush that Moses was speaking to in the Bible.
Really?
Yeah, I believe so.
You know,
And
it's
I've
like a
done
24-hour thing.
Yeah, it's rough. I would definitely try it.
Really?
Yeah, I would definitely try it.
Scares.
I believe that they have, at least when Graham Hancock did it, he had an ambulance, like, or he had a
Yeah, they have
paramedic
to.
with
You
him.
have to because
Yeah.
your heart rate goes so bad.
Yeah,
You have to
wild.
do it in like a hospital. But you can do it. I think there's a place in Mexico, and like there is. I just listened to this guy talk about it with somebody. I think it was Sam Tripoli is who he talked about it with. But it's supposed to like I'm not gonna claim that I'm helping people, but it's almost like you reflect on your life
Yeah.
and you almost have to like face, like
Yeah.
I said earlier off mic, like it is so insane that we are so afraid to close our eyes and look at our own lives.
Yeah.
We are so afraid to look at our own lives or talk about our own lives to other people. And I don't know, man, like there's I just feel like once you let that go, like you're
Yeah.
able to flourish, like you're able to grow, like as long as you're being drowned down by the weeds around you. Like,
Yeah. And trends. But that's the thing with our culture is it's always that the further you go from home, the more majestic the travel spot is. And like the more you look out, the more you'll know. And there's nothing about looking in. They don't ever teach you just to go out into the woods by yourself, be by yourself with yourself, and eat a handful of mushrooms. You know, like they don't want you to do that.
it seems scary to me. And see, that's what I'm saying. It probably isn't. It's probably the
Nah.
best thing for me.
Yeah, it is.
But it terrifies me because of what I know.
Yeah, yeah. And it was for me. I had a lot of like I would never recommend people doing mushrooms. Like I had a lot of really bad experience. A lot of things that never what the scariest part is that there was aspects of myself that I would see from other people other people's point of view like you said that really embarrassed me. But for some reason or another even when I came back I still couldn't see it that way. And I would be like, "Oh, no, it ain't that big of a deal." But then
Almost like you realize like, yeah, they don't see me that way, but I feel like they see me that way. So you want to be a better
yeah,
person,
yeah.
but even though they don't, you still know they don't give a shit. But you still
Maybe.
know in your heart, like, I feel like they do, but I want to be a better person whether they do or not.
Yeah. And I think they do because there was a lot of things people told me about myself that I thought for sure they were wrong. And the first time I ate mushrooms, I realized that, like, no, buddy, like, you're wrong. You're the one
Do
that's
you have an
wrong.
example?
Yeah, like, just not really being honest with people and not really being, like, you get caught up in this life where you believe this theory of, like, don't trust anybody. And if you don't trust anybody, then you're not going to be honest with anybody because why would you be? And like that was one thing for sure. Like I would tell different people different things depending on what I wanted them to know rather than just being a real person. And then even though I didn't do it on purpose to like lie to people, eventually people would find out that you told two different stories and that's just the way they're going to see you. You know what I mean? And that was something I would do, and it was just living in a hostile environment. Like I don't need this person to know where I'm going, but maybe I do need this person to know. And I would just tell different stories to different people. And that was one thing that for sure bothered me about myself that I just need to be. Um, I think the Chinese talk about it in the three faces. It's like who you are around random people, who you are around comfortable people, and who you are when you're alone. And that like bothered me. Like, why can't somebody just be always the same
Always the
person?
same person.
And I think there are people like that. I think that's what we call being real. Is like you should be who you are when no one's around, when people are around, even if you don't know
Gotcha.
those people. I think that's why a lot of comedians are so successful is that they breach that barrier
They just don't
and
give
they
a fuck.
show their weirdness to people and people actually love
I
it.
feel like that at work sometimes. Like I can't be happy because like I know that it's going to cause problems, so I have to fake. I have to pretend that I'm in a bad mood just so they won't put me in a bad
Approach you.
mood.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so crazy. Like I have to pretend because if I'm happy, they're going to steal it from me.
Yeah.
But if I pretend I'm in a bad mood and stay happy, then they're like, "Oh, I can't steal it." It's so crazy,
Yeah.
dude.
And it sucks that somebody else's presence would make you be who you are.
It's so nuts,
Yeah.
right?
That bothers
But
me.
once I think you find that, once you realize that, you're able to harness it. Like you're able to like let it go. You're able to be who you want to be inside yourself. Once you find out that other people are controlling your lives because their lives are miserable, you're able to just be like, you know what? I'm gonna be happy inside myself.
Yeah.
No matter what the hell's
And
going
then
on
other
around
people
us.
love it more than you've ever been loved in the world. Just to see a human being like you being real, people love that. And unfortunately, it's always different people than who you have around. And when you really do transition into that, you really start realizing the people that you're around don't really maybe appreciate you as much as other people are going to, because you being real.
Yeah.
People who are really close to you aren't going to want you to just start being real suddenly. It's too much of a change. I've lost so many people in my life, and I'm going to lose more people in my life because of that.
Yeah, I think about that every time I get on this microphone.
Yeah. Yeah. It's scary, but at the same time, like, who cares? Like, in all reality, like, we don't have the time to stop and worry about that. And unfortunately, through my time in life, it's always been the people that I love the most, and it's always been the people that are closest to me that I end up always realizing are the most toxic people in my life.
They always hurt you the most.
Yeah, they do. But it's not that they want to, it's just that you're with them for, say, 5 years and you're this person. And then all of a sudden you learn something profound and you change, and they can't change with you. People don't accept that well. And if you change too fast in a pool of people that aren't changing fast enough, they will always hate you for that. It's not even that they hate you. It's just that they don't know how to respond to it
I
or
always feel
respect
like
it.
it's almost like you're too close to your art. Like you're so in love, you care so much that the littlest thing can just destroy
Yeah.
everything because you expect more, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
at that point, it's almost like you're going to give up over something so small. Like,
No, you can't.
you can't.
Even if it's big, you just can't. You can't.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of times, even in early, years of just being so dedicated to like what you do or what I did, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights, those are your busiest nights in a tattoo shop. You know how many years went by where I didn't go and party with my best friends, and then they die in something, I never even really got to spend time with them. Like, those things bother me too, but I know that it's right what I did, but it's just crazy creating that separation between you and everybody else, and basically leaving everybody that you love to go pursue something like that. And then that even later in life becomes a problem with maybe women, and
Yeah.
they don't like that you're that dedicated to something that they don't understand, and you're not that dedicated to them.
Yeah.
That's been a problem I've had my entire life. And I'm so dedicated to what I do that it means as much to me as my children. Like, no woman and no person means more to me than
Let me ask you this. What is it that you do that you're so dedicated to? What is it in your mind that you think that you're dedicated to? Like, because it's not the shop, it's not tattooing.
No.
What is it in your head that is
I think that's a good question. I think that at this point in my life, I think the thing I'm dedicated to mostly is just showing people that no matter who you are, it can be done.
I like
And
that. That's a good one.
it doesn't matter who you are, and it doesn't matter what your past is. I think it can be done. And I think that I'm dedicated to myself. I learned how to love myself. And I think that that's the first step in being able to be. I'm still not perfect, and there's still a lot of people in my life that are close to me that don't like me, but I'm not perfect, but I am trying.
Why do you think they don't like you?
I think that I'm sometimes a little too real. Like, sometimes I say things that don't need to be said, and I do have a bad tendency of saying things in a manner that aren't really necessarily a respectful way to say things, but it's not really that I'm trying to be a disrespectful person when I do it. I just feel like if I have to word it differently than the way it comes to me, then it's not me.
Gotcha.
But that's not always right. And there are times when I've found that you do sometimes need to maybe not be yourself all the time, and I am a perfect example of that. I'm not really the greatest person to be around sometimes. Like, when I'm stressing, and I'm not fun to be around. I know that. I never have been. But
you kind of take care of it. You kind of cover it up pretty good. But
yeah.
I haven't seen you in your personal life I just know you from high school.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I knew
and
back then, like, you went through phases where,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah,
seem to
I'm way better now, but
you seem to separate yourself and
yeah. I just don't like the public thing. Like, I don't do well with public. There's a lot of things I don't do well. I don't understand things, the way that other people do. I see things way differently. I see things in an art manner.
I do
don't
too.
see
It's
things
weird
in-
how people don't. That's what I was
Yeah.
talking to you about earlier. Like, everybody should draw. Like, when I will, bro, but when I see those welds, I see into the depths of them. I see things that people don't see, like things. It matters to me. I do see it from an art form. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's, I think that, I don't know. Maybe society in general has just lost the appreciation for art because, like, we're so industrialized. Like, art is makes you feel good no matter what. It doesn't matter what you hear. A good song, you hear a good story, you're gonna feel good.
But it's raw too, and that's what art is. Songs that we love, they're raw. They're from the heart.
Painful and
Yeah, and they're painful. And that's how I am as a person too. Like I don't know how to say things nice. I say things and I understand that things have process.
yeah.
Like this needs to be done, then this needs to be layered over it. And it's the same thing in life with philosophy. Like nothing can just become something good. Like there's a process that goes into things and it's raw and it has to be raw if it's going to be real. People don't accept that well anymore. Like,
As an artist of your caliber, which I would say is like once one like of the best in the world, I would say that. I don't know if you feel that way, but you are. You've got many awards and you've built a very good you've changed the tattoo uh environment. Your shop isn't a tattoo shop. It's an art uh um museum, I would say. You go in there, everybody in your shop is happy. There is no drugs. There is no it's a safe place for kids. There's kids in there watching videos. There's people having food. It's a very different you've changed it. You've
Yeah.
changed the environment of tattoo shops. Like you've created something that is doesn't exist. Um forgot what I was getting at, but um basically is like where do you see your art going from there? Like what is it that what caused that? What was in your heart that like created that environment? Like
just wanting to do things different. It just worked in so many tattoo shops. It's always the same thing. It's an uncomfortable environment. You walk in, you have dudes hitting on you. If you're a female, you walk in by yourself. It's uncomfortable. I don't want that. I knew that if I could create something different than that it would sell. I know a lot of people that run successful tattoo shops where they hit on every single female client that comes in there and they're still successful. I don't know how. I don't know why you go back there, but I knew that if I could cut that out and make it an environment for families and anybody could come in there and it would be comfortable, that it would just be beyond that in successfulness. And it took a long time to like build that, but my kids growing up in tattoo shops, obviously I got to watch what I say when they're little. My oldest, from 3 to 10, she
spend
grew
that
up in a
whole
tattoo
time,
shop
yeah.
every day, every single day. And now my son every day has his own station in there that he sculpts at. So got to watch what I say. Got to watch what we do.
Who comes in there?
Can't have it smelling like weed inside the building. Leave that shit outside. Yeah, we have a schedule. That's a lot of tattoo shops don't have that. I look at it as a job. This is your job. All I'm asking of you is 4 days a week of your life, and you need to be here on a structured schedule. You're not going to come and go as you please. You pick 4 days, and if you don't have discipline and you don't have want, then you're not at the right tattoo shop. And I just don't tolerate anything less than that. And because of that, I've acquired people that believe the same thing as me.
I remember what I was gonna say. As this accomplished person, as I see like one of the best in the world, what do you have to say as a starving, starting, scratching, poor, broken, sad, heartbroken dad just died? What do you have to say to those kids?
I would say one of two things. Either just stop everything else and do what you love every single day of your life, or come find somebody like me, because there's one of me in every town in this world. I'm not that special, but there's always somebody in town that's doing something just better than everyone else. And I'm not saying that's me. There's other people that are more successful me than in town, but go find the person that you want to be like and dedicate your life to them and show some discipline. If they already have a platform, if somebody came to me right now in those same shoes, then I would say, do this, this, and this, and do it for a year. And
And
if
what
you
would those things be?
those things would be show up here every single day, whether you make money or not, and do what you love and show me that you love doing it. And next year, I'll make sure that you start making money. I want to see you do that for 1 year. And I want to see that you care. And I want to see that you can wake up on your own and come to work on time. Not 20 minutes late, not 30 minutes late. At fucking 10:50. Be there, help mop, help clean. Do that for a year. And your life will be made. Somebody will make your life for you.
You have anything else you want to talk about right now?
No, not really. I think that pretty much covers everything.
All right, part 1. Brian, any last words?
No, that's about it. I appreciate having this opportunity. This is awesome.
Thank
It's
you
fun.
for spending your time with me, man.
Bye, guys.